A lot of headlines still coming across as far as the overall market is concerned. We'll keep an eye on that. The Associated Press, if you're just joining, the Associated Press has confirmed that Russian missiles did land in Poland, right on the border of Ukraine and Poland. They also said that those Russian missiles were intended for Ukraine. Not that that matters, but we will continue to monitor this as it comes in. I'm just keeping my eye on a few things right now that are coming across. Hope your afternoon is going well. We have given back, obviously, most of the gains from early on today, but it has been a productive day overall as far as the overall market is concerned. Here is a look at where things stand right now. My screen's having a little bit of trouble. Why don't we start with this one? There we are. 0.46 for the S&P 500 currently. There's still a lot of positivity, still a lot of green to discuss, including most of the tech group here, some of the software names back in the red as we head into the latter part of the afternoon here. But semiconductors, hardware equipment makers, and some of the software names as well, easily offsetting any negativity coming through in that sense. Diversified financials back to the downside. There was a big move in the dollar higher on this headline. There was a big move in Treasury's downside on this headline. So banks kind of flying around with these moves as they're happening. This SIVB was that FTX exposed bank. They came out this morning and said their deposits with FTX were a lot smaller than initially thought. Para, MTCH, both having pretty good days on some takeover chatter. Netflix, Goog, and Google also positive on the day. So communication stocks among the biggest gainers on the day. There's Walmart still holding on to a pretty good day down here, 7%. Costco green on the day. Walmart helping out Costco after earnings. HD not so much after theirs were kind of in line with expectations. Now just 0.25% for the S&P as we continue back to the downside. Welcome in. We'll, as I said, keep you up to date as far as what is happening as best we can with these market-driven headlines that are still coming through. Yeah, the market trying to get back to the downside. Let's get into a bit of a review of what we were discussing. If you joined us in the pre-market, make sure you're doing that every single day. We get you set for the open every single day. Sean is going to lead the way today with a look at one of his trades from this morning.
Hey guys, it's your trade of the day, and yeah, today it's going to be sort of like a familiar name. It's going to be AMD. I want to make sure that you guys, if you're interested in starting up a proprietary day trading floor, make sure you check out daytradetheworld.com, the QR code below as well. Look, the reason why I have this guy in front of me, this is my sticky note. I don't have it up here, but we had AMD at the top, and what we basically said was pretty easy. They had a couple upgrades today. Market will rally. If the market rallies, we want to get that long in AMD. So let's have a quick look at what we did here today. This is kind of unusual for me, as yeah, let's go to the downside, baby, because we're short right now. As you can see, starting to make a little bit of lows here. We're still waiting for some prices down here. Maybe you can get live fill on the show here as we go. All right, so early. Look, we don't normally do this, but we saw the volume that comes with CPI and PPI. Today, producer price index came out here at 830, rocketed this thing to the upside. I just sat here and was watching AMD just creep higher as we write our note. Want to get long, want to get long. Boom, number hits, better than expected PPI. Boom that to the upside, and there it goes, making a nice little move. Look at that, that's long 76, couple outs, all the way up there, 77.50. Then eventually we hold it all the way, and we get out at 78. It's not the best out, it's not the worst out. We let it go all the way to 79 before fading back in. Then this is the thing, and I tweeted this out as well. Hashtag life of a trader, right? We wanted long, then all of a sudden market breaks down, and then here goes AMD to the downside again. So we go from a long position into a short position here. We're seeing the S&P, and unfortunately we hear that bad news. Well, I mean, it's been confirmed, so I guess it is bad news there, that some missiles leaked over into Poland, and of course they're a NATO country, so instantly I'm thinking, okay, we got to go to the short side. What do we want to trade? And I found a name that was sort of hovering up to the high side that hadn't given it up yet, and that was AMD. Break 77, you can see I drew the little line there, was kind of supporting 77. As soon as we broke, we hit it twice. There's two shorts there all the way to the downside with some of our best outs right there at 76 coinciding with that move. So again, I feel like when you're a day trader, I know when you're a day trader, you have to have the ability to sort of flip your mind over, right? We go from a long because the market, which is right here, was in rally mode. We were up over 2%. Now you're seeing it taking out or close to that bottom again. So when levels break and momentum change in the market, you have to be ready and willing with these hands of gold to go over there, make some plays, make some calls on some names. And if you don't like the short, that's fine. You can wait to pick up some longs. The long there would have been okay, but then you got to get out as it breaks 76. So, play the momentum and have the ability to not only react to news, but know what you want to do when you see the opportunity. It's your trade of the day.
Yeah, 2 days in a row, 2 days of great trading opportunities for AMD. Back to the downside we go, though, with the overall market. AMD on that again this morning. Again, 2 days in a row with upgrades leading the overall chipmaker group. Remember, we had the TSM headlines this morning as well. We'll talk about that coming up. Make sure to grab that, though, every day, guys. We send it out for free. Has everything you need to know on it in the pre-market. Just watching some crypto making moves here as well. This is Bitcoin on an hourly chart, back to the downside with the overall market here on these headlines as well. This one, however, just popped up. Silvergate. Apparently, a subpoena has been issued to Silvergate. Still looking for the actual article on this, but I'll keep an eye out for that. Okay. Just reading some more stuff on this headlines. But let's jump into what else is moving around here maybe this afternoon, because we started the day with, a very positive sentiment, very positive market coming off what happened yesterday. Remember, they sold it off initially. We rally back, and then we end the day basically right back at the lows. I mean, we're still positive. There is, a lot of momentum still behind this move back to the upside if you go out to a higher time frame. Yes, we're back below 4,000 if we're talking about the S&P here, guys, but let's maybe slow down a little bit and put everything in perspective.
As I just said, whoa, there, this is a crazy little. When I was, and I'll just take this over quickly about Netflix. I was just short Netflix. I still am short at 306.50. That just touched 304.50. So if I was here, we would have taken some profit out. But yeah, Neil, what a change of events here as the market continues to bleed.
Life comes at you fast.
Sorry?
Life comes at you fast.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I mean, and especially as day traders, man. And that's what we were talking about there on the chat, on the trade of the day, was like being able to flip up your game plan here from one spot to another. But there it goes, man. I don't know if we're going to buy this dip. I'm trying to hold on to some of these shorts. It sucks to sort of make calls based on what's happening across the world and the unfortunate events of other countries. But I just hope that this can all get settled down. And again, look, we're here to trade.
You're here to trade the price action, and that's just the reality. I can tell you there was actually a piece of news at lunchtime, pretty much right at noon, regarding TikTok that sent Meta and Snapchat to the upside. And this is what I sort of getting at. Life comes at you quickly, because that was a nice breakout. It went to the high of the day, actually was reloaded, and the next thing you know, getting stopped out. But then when the news dropped, it's like reverse to the low. And the only reason why I took a long on Snapchat and might do so again is when the market just kept making lows, Snapchat ended up holding the bottom. So I got out of the short in front of 1150 and then just went into the long into VWAP there. And it's actually holding a higher low as the market's still off the bottom. So Snapchat, I think I'm going to put in the bucket of relative strength this afternoon. Intel, a bit of a different story, because I was long Intel for early breakouts, not working out. So a couple of stops when it kept breaking this 31 level. And eventually, if I had reversed this, I did not, so it is what it is. I was in a couple of shorts. I did have Netflix. I got taken out of that one. Amazon probably got out of that too early. But then this name, Intel, and we'll see if it respects this bottom, but yesterday's low got respected at 30.20 in front of this 30 level. So I did grab that long. You'll see I'm not in Intel long. I actually elected to short it when it put a wick high at 30.50. I wanted something to short on the way back up here, and I saw a wick top on the stock that I was trading. So there's a lot to be watching here this afternoon. Certainly none of this is fantastic news. Apple, just to come to a big name here, and this is actually holding a pretty interesting range. Apple 150. And then double bottom at 148.50. So I think we have a decent range in one of the market leaders here. If Apple can hold a bid, I think this market's going to have a bit of a shot. So I'll be watching that pretty closely. But yeah, it's unfortunate, but you have to be able to react pretty quickly on the fly. I don't think I was fast enough to be like, I should have hold on to some Netflix. But if this gets back up to VWAP. I just kind of feel like that might be too far on this news, but the market is trying to rebound. I said I want to get back into Snapchat. Now it's breaking out. That is above VWAP and bucking trend. I want some longs in that one.
I'm going to try this one more time here. Whoa, okay. All right, I just made a keystroke error there, but that's okay. Keystroke error there on Netflix. We were short. It was making money. We just got in and out for flat there, so no real damage done, but you can see the market now trying to spike back up, so we'll wait to see, man. I mean, I don't know. I thought all that stuff was confirmed. So if it's not confirmed, then maybe this is a nice little rally back up to the upside, which is great. But here we go again. What's up, Brando?
So just be aware here. That's me, guys. Sorry, there we go. Just be aware. The Associated Press has changed the title of this article 3 times now. The initial one used the words crossed into Poland. The second iteration did not. It just said puts Ukraine in darkness with power grid attack. And now we're back to crossed into Poland. So it's the Associated Press, so you kind of have to go with what they're saying, but just be cautious, I guess, is the best way to put it.
Well, I mean, it just stopped. I just got stopped out of Intel.
Yep.
Intel just broke up, so I was looking for a long in Snapchat.
Shit.
Obviously, when that happens, it's a little too quick unless you were already bracketing this. So I tried to catch it off you up. It's gone now, so. At this point, you almost got to regroup and just look for key price levels on stocks that were already in play for you. Brendo again?
Pentagon now saying, guys, they cannot corroborate reports that 2 Russian missiles crossed into Poland. So that's, again, the Pentagon saying they cannot corroborate those reports.
Yeah, so I can only imagine what's happening to to Northrop and Lockheed here. They're probably, they're just coming right back in. And again, I wouldn't just jump in buying this dip saying, hey, but if this is actually true again, you can just go ham on a stock that's directly related. I'm going to stick to something that makes a little more sense to me. And that's the stocks that I was already looking at. I think Netflix, I was already looking at a couple of names. Netflix was one of them. Amazon's the other. I know we'll get to the rundown in a quick little second. Come on, Amazon. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. This is getting back up to this 99 level. I like that short at 101. I got out too early. It broke down at 99. I like the 99 short up here. I'll probably try it again at 100. But this is a name that was relatively weak before this happened. So if I'm going to go over to something and say, okay, I wanted to short some pops, give me something that was relatively weak anyways. That's going to be Amazon here. I'll take it off 99. This little wick got you to 99.17. So give it to like 20s or so and see if it can't get back down to the bottom. If this gets stopped out, I like that 100 level as well. So to me, I'm just going to want to jump back into things that made sense to me before this news came out. And I was short Amazon pretty much since 11 o'clock. So just going to go back to something that makes some more sense.
Look, I mean, I'm glad that this is all.
I'm glad it's
I'm glad it's working out. I mean, we just hit the short again there on AMD. We did sort of the same thing that you were just saying there. Go back over to stocks that maybe we've been short before against some key levels. So I did short Amazon again, and I'm shorting AMD again. So we'll just wait to see here. Look, I mean, if anything, I mean, you could see here we just shorted against 77. So not rocket science. It did go into the money there for me. Again, pretty good, man. Down to 45 there. So if it comes back in a little bit more, we will take some more out on the bid. Look, regardless of what we want the market to do here, you're still up 1.24%, and the longs could still be in charge here, especially if that report is just an attack, maybe on whatever they're talking about the power grid, like you just mentioned there, Brendan. So I'll leave the news to Brendan there and just try to trade the price action. So we're short again on AMD. We're short again here on Amazon. And trade the weak names to the downside. I mean, we are one note away from this crashing again. Like if it comes out that something, that it did hit Poland or whatever. I don't know. I know we're going back and forth here. So let's just trade the price action that we see. I'm going to get another piece out here, or one piece out anyways on Amazon, hopefully in that low 80s. I'm sitting at 81. Give it to me. There it is. Nice little move to the downside now on Amazon. Good job there. And then here it comes back for AMD. The problem is we got taken out of Netflix there at 308. That's a pretty violent name. We wanted the short, but we got taken out there. So it's a couple of bucks lost there on that move for Netflix.
Yeah, we're going to go, Brendan, in a quick second. A couple of names. One that made a big move up. We'll talk about this probably a little bit later on. I don't know if it's on the rundown. DWAC actually got off the lows. Now, remember, there could be an announcement after market. So we're going to keep the ears to the ground. Like I'm kind of liking the notion that a breakout on this could be interesting, people getting ahead of any said announcement. So this is going to be on my radar a little bit, and we'll talk about Rumble as well. Brendo?
All right. There is a Pentagon spokesperson speaking right now, so just watch the market. It's going to be obviously very headline driven here for the next few hours. Let's talk about Taiwan Semi. This was the headline that we came into this morning. TSM obviously up huge in the pre-market. It was 12+% initially on the Buffett stake. So it's 4.1 billion if you missed it, which equates to about 1.2% of the overall company being picked up by Berkshire.
All right, we're just, I don't know what to tell you, man. I mean, I'm sitting here trading like a maniac right now. Just more outs for Amazon as we're starting to fall back down in here. I will address the Taiwan Semi story, but unfortunately, right now we do have a couple positions on. And hey, man, when you're trading live, you rely on Brendo for the news, and we go siren alert here because, yeah, we are trading. We're actively trading this market here as it goes down. So I just want to cover a little bit of Amazon there as we come back in for that move. And we're just bouncing off right now the 50 period. So I don't know. I'm a little bit glued to these positions right here, right now, as Amazon makes a move right back up to the upside. It's a good thing we got a piece out there at 60 on Amazon. It's starting to fall back in. And our AMD, that's not falling as much as I'd hoped it was. We'll take another 54 out right there, but a decent reload there on AMD as we wait for this market to make a bigger move here.
I can't believe Snapchat's not even falling. Like, I'm thinking, okay, that last move that dipped us down was going to be able to get me VWAP here. This is one I know I'm going to want long. It's just, look, the market is still hanging off the lows. This broke VWAP and headed toward the high of the day. Especially you had that TikTok news that came out there, some concerns. So I'm going to be all over VWAP. But if it doesn't pull back when this market makes the next dip here, then I might just have to take this breaking out. It's super strong. And actually, TSM, I know, look, the rundown matters and everything, but TSM, the level I like was 80 bucks anyways, all day long. And I did cancel it when this news hit. I was bidding in front of 80 pretty much most of the day. But then once that news hit, I kind of backed off to see what happened. Well, it's bounced off 80. So I'm going to take this off the 80 level. If it breaks it, maybe give it a few shekels, maybe not too far beneath that price level. But that's the level I liked anyway. So we'll see if it can defend it. It's already bounced off of this once. Let's see if it can do it a second time. Amazon's bouncing back into the upside. I might not be able to wait for Snapchat. I might just take it breaking out. It looks like 1185 here is this consolidation high.
Ooh, we just got close to getting more Amazon there at 07, did we? No, we got 99s there on the reload. We were waiting at 99.07 there on the reload. So, okay, here it comes right up. Are we going to get this or not? I mean, this White House spokesperson that's speaking right now, I don't see it over my top corner. Brendan's going to give us the news as they come out, though. So it'll be interesting to hear what's happening with all of that. But we can go over to TSM quickly now because I have my stop orders in, so everything should be okay. As AMD trying to retrace back down as well. So yeah, Warren Buffett, man. I mean, like Neil said earlier, it's real nice when you can have billions of dollars and then tell everybody what you did, and then this is what happens on that reaction, and they give you another billion for that. So I mean, again, you know, I think it just sort of goes where if they're going to be in Taiwan Semi, you know, we saw, what was it? What's her name there? Pelosi flew over to Taiwan. I mean, this is honestly, like, the more you dig under the hood on some of these things, it's quite ridiculous. Like, she goes over there to Taiwan. What, does she come back and tell Warren something? The guy's long everything right now. 79.90, 79.80 right there. I look for a fallback down, so I wouldn't let that slip. If it breaks here almost 80 bucks, which it might do, there is a lot of room back down to the downside. Now, I think today with the news, you're probably okay. I don't think it'll fall and collapse, but this is definitely a spot here where, you know, if the world sort of does get turned upside down a little bit here, Taiwan Semi is sort of primed to fall back in, I feel like, on that kind of news. So there we go. Now the market's starting to rip up, so we must have got some decent news there as I talk about Taiwan Semi and then lose on Amazon. So here we go. The market's moving once again. We're short Amazon with a target out very, very soon up near 99.30, guys.
Have a long position in something. Snapchat ended up breaking that consolidation higher, so I grabbed that. I'm still watching Apple as well. Apple, this 150, it just can't seem to break out, so it's going back and forth off this. This might not be the place. It's almost going to be like a follower, not a leader, and I want to see a leader. I want to look at Walmart managed to not move when the market went down. I think we can probably, I was going to think it was relative strength, but when you really boil it down, like Walmart's effect here, this is more of an international thing. So Walmart, while yes, relieve this, is finding some relief from this pressure to the downside, it's not exactly going to be rallying in the relief either. So this might not be the place to go long. I did have it earlier, but I got to find something else. Brendo?
I'm just listening to this press briefing, guys. There's nothing that we don't know already coming out of it, I guess is the best way to put it. So that's probably why the market continues back higher. They're saying they cannot corroborate the reports, and they're still working to get more details. So nothing yet coming out of this press briefing against a Pentagon spokesperson. Here is the headline on said Walmart from this morning. It was a good report right across the board. $20 billion in share buyback announced from Walmart as well, guys.
You know, I actually didn't realize that was even next on the rundown. That was completely coincidental. I just happened, the funny thing was when I was looking, when the market came down, I was looking for things that didn't fall. And like, just give me the first thing that's not moving down. And I'm like, oh, Walmart's not moving down. But then realized, why would it? You got to get here because Snapchat just got to the high of the day. It's worth mentioning, this was already testing a $12 area breakout potential on the daily chart, which is a monster level if you can look at that daily, and it is on the midst of a breakout. So if we do get through 12, there's a good chance I might want to, if we're still strong in this market, I might want to add to Snapchat. It's now 5.5% and getting towards the high. Walmart itself, okay, we always talk about this all the time. We got to take accountability for some of the things. And I was in like 5 or 6 positions most of the time this morning. And I like the dip buy on Walmart.
Wow.
I didn't get it at 145. Those wicks are kind of ugly. Is it a little better if I pull? No, it's not much better if I pull 3-minute. But it did get to 145 down here. I was sitting just beneath this level. Didn't catch the fill. I didn't do a thing with the stock until it was at that high at 150. And then managed to short in front of 150 and then not jump back into it when I got wicked out. How many times have you heard me say, you get wicked out, set up like this, I should be jumping back in. It goes all the way to VWAP, which is what I wanted. These longs, I took a shot at it a couple of times. One got some growth. The other time, I'm like, this is not moving based on this news. Let's just walk away from Walmart. It's not doing anything right now when the market's going haywire. So I think we'll just have to leave this one out. I'm sure it's going to move tomorrow because we get some more retail with lows. Great report, but the dip buy at the open and the 150 short were the only 2 trades. And it's like those are the 2 things I was looking at. Managed to not profit from either one. So I'm not really happy about that. Now it's on to some Snapchat for me.
On to the next. On to the next. Yeah, I'm on to the next as well here with Google. I don't have anything for Walmart right now. We're just looking to short Google right now into that high. You're trying to bounce off a little bit. Big movement to the upside here for Google. So we'll wait to see here. There we go. Did we just get a bid out? Yes, we did. So a little piece out there as we're making a little bit of money back, but we did just get blown out, of course, of our, not of course, but of our Amazon there, and we tried to short. We made some money early, and then, you know, when the news is out here, and I kind of feel like I'm back talking here because I shouldn't be in Google, then like if there's news out and you're unsure of what exactly is happening, then the best thing to do is probably to stay away. So right now, lots of news out there. We'll cover some of this Google position on the downside right now, just punching out. We're actually at O's right now as well. There it is, so that just hit. So now we can hold. Now we'll hold a little bit in case something else does come out here, but we have a new short on. It's Google. We're printing nicely now, so it's okay. Let's see where we go from here. But right now, Google, there it is. Nicely done to the downside here. As we went back into another name. Ooh, we just put a 92 there and missed it. Let's just punch out some 95s. There it is. So right now, new short initiated on Google. Just building purple flowers here. We'll see if we can get back down to like 97.70 or so. But for right now, new positions. We've just gotten hit on some of those shorts. So we did give back some there. Trading the news is a difficult thing to do, especially when the news is not confirmed. Certain. So we thought it was. Brendan's just been reading every single highlight that's come through. So we'll stick with Reuters and see where we go from here. But good talk about Walmart. Let's go back to Brendan.
All right, a few people circulating a note now, guys, suggesting that what actually hit this town or area near the border between Ukraine and Poland was actually the remnants of a rocket that was shot down by Ukrainian armed forces. So again, not confirmed. Just be aware. There's going to be a lot of headlines.
This is leading me to want some of these longs, but they've kind of come and gone. I'm out of intel. Like I said, I have Snap. I'll add to it if it breaks that 12 even area, $12 level. I'm looking at intel back up to this. I mean, where I got stopped when the news hit was about 30.80. So if it gets to that price, it makes some sense to look for a bit of a short. Apple now feels like a 150 long, and I got to zoom in for you. Now it feels like this consolidation should be a long in 150. It just, you know, based on everything Brendan's sort of saying, is all you're seeing is a de-escalation of the news per se. So I want to lean back into thinking some long ideas. I originally, we talked about Walmart a little bit. I mean, Netflix obviously was pretty strong, but there were some growth names out there that were pretty solid. And one of them, Roblox, and I'll be kicking myself for not trying to bottom pick this. This was 37 that I liked on Roblox. It obviously broke out very early in the morning. Now you're right back into reestablish this 37 level. I stopped out. I was longing it all afternoon, bouncing into 37.50, just scalping it, and then it got taken out when the news hit. I didn't go back to the well. But now that it's back above 37, I might go back to this name at that 37 level and just see if this can get back up into VWAP. The Chinese ADRs have actually held some strength. So here's Alibaba, back above VWAP, never broke the low of the day on this news. I think that's a place I want to go to now. $80, probably still resistance up there, 80 to 80.25, but above VWAP. Count me into the long here. It never broke down on this news anyway, so I kind of feel like it's not immune to any pushes down that we might get on headlines. But in theory, it has less downside risk. So I'm going to start getting along on Alibaba into 80. I don't want to be long at the top. I'd rather be long in front of VWAP here.
All right. Yeah, just what? Oh, yeah. I guess we're just done the rundown. Yeah, there's too much stuff happening right now. All right. So Brendan just mentioned that Uber was raising fares there in New York City. So we'll have a quick look at that in a minute. I just want to give everyone an idea here where I'm going to get out 30 breaks. So we're short right now at 18. We'll give it up a little bit. We've made some good money here on this short. We're just kind of getting out, a lot as it moves because, like I said, very, very, conscious of the fact that this story is developing. And like just right now, I just see that move down and the scalper in me says, get me out at 94 a little bit there, dog. There it is, a nice little move down to 94 again right there and just scalping this out. So, got to put out another bid. This is how you know I have shares. Like if I only had, something where it's like, okay, now we're 30 cents in the money, we can hold this, but we are now 30 cents in the money. So let's get another piece out as I'm just sort of getting out now, like 10% of what I have left. So hopefully that can come down. See, like I just put a bid at 87 when it touched 87 there and we didn't get the fill. And now it's right back to 97. So sometimes that 10 cents, bugs me because we should have had that. But okay, that's that. Let's move on to something else. Kneel not on Affirm. Let me see. What is Affirm doing? All of us.
I haven't traded Affirm in a while.
That's what I was going to say. Like we haven't looked at this since earnings. Affirm has been a wild ride there. I said this was buy now, pay never when this name was like at $200. Even when it came out, I still like the name down at these levels. But again, like Affirm, I don't know why we're talking about it, but up 9% right now, doing decent volume, 50 million shares. There's lots to talk about, guys, on the trading side of things, including AMD. There goes Google right now, back in. There we go. We just got that fill down there at 87, so that's a good fill. No pending orders. We're still short Nubank, by the way, new holdings. This is a trade from the morning. Someone on Prad's show said, hey, how do we trade if we're on PDT, so on and so forth? Well, you could just look for one-hit wonders like this. There's the Nubank rate. I keep calling Nubank. It's New Holdings. Right there, 520 short. We're still in that name right now. And we're still in Robinhood long off of one trade as well. So 10 long Robinhood. That just retraced back to the high side as crypto starts to go a little bit. So yeah, let's see. Maybe we should get something out here on Robinhood. But Google's coming back in again. I'm going to take another piece.
So I got that short into Intel. Apple came down to 150, so grab the 15s. I want to risk 25 pennies on Apple. Affirm, you know what? Okay, fair enough. This is an interesting break at 1750 that it's put on here. So yeah, kudos. Maybe I should be involved in this when it broke that 1750. I guess it's holding above here. If the market's going to stay to the upside, above 1750 sets up for an interesting long. I just got other places that I think I like a little bit better. Snap was just so strong and didn't react as badly, but you can probably put Affirm into that category. I'm going to stay away from it, but I do want to go to another name, Square, or Block, as they say. Block also showing some signs of strength, right? There we go. Above VWAP, holding the top end. So anything that held didn't even get Didn't even retest some of those lows, but put in higher lows, didn't break the low of the day. I like to put in my long bucket, so Square will be in that bucket. I don't want to have to wait for a 75 break on this if the market goes up. I'd rather be playing with a 73, 73 and a half. As I say that, going to go back over to Apple just to quickly show you. Bouncing off 150. These wicks on the chart make the scaling ridiculous unless I get rid of it. But it just got up to 150.50. So I had 15s, took some out in front of 50s, 151s. I definitely want to take another leg out. BABA, and I didn't get a reload in Snapchat. I'm going to go double check because I did have, oh, you know what? Okay, so it got to 80 there. It just bounced off 80. So didn't really get to VWAP or anything. I'll probably get some in front of 80 here because I know Snapchat's one I want to that long side. So I'm going to be building this one into that 12 level just to see if it can go. The only thing I'm short right now is going to be Intel. I was looking around for something else that I liked. Some of the names fell a little bit more violently than others. So if you put a lot of those semis into that group that had the violent drop, that's why I like shorting them a little bit better. So if we get back into 75s or 80s, I'll have to get out of Intel. But for now, it's the name that I do like to jump into this short.
All right, let's go. Okay, we just took out another. I just saw what Trader Gorno said there in the chat, and I just agreed with him. And that is that I think the risk are to the long positions right now. I just feel that, it's been such a great day up to the upside right now. We did have a major pullback there, like the market, some of these names, and it depends on what names you're in. So I should sort of preface it with that, right? I mean, if you're in some of the defensive names, then maybe not. But if you're in tech names right now, there's been such a huge rally in the NASDAQ that I sometimes feel like, look at the NASDAQ here on a 30-minute chart. I mean, this has just been a pretty epic move up there, right? So, you're up almost, what are you up, 1,000, 1,300 points here, all the way to the upside up to 12,000 right there. So it's been a huge move in the NASDAQ. You could easily fail here. And the problem is that, whether or not we think that this news was bad or whatever it is for the market there, the NASDAQ is still pretty frothy at these levels. We're done earnings right now. And I just feel that, now that you have a reason for the market to sell off possibly, look how easy some of these names gave it up. I mean, Google was at $99 already heading to the downside. And then all of a sudden we get wind of that story there and it's like, boom, you went down 2 straight dollars. You know what I'm saying? So that's part of the risk there that I talk about when, now we're back up to the upside and we're kind of retracing like 50 cents or so. So I don't know. I feel like that's where the risk is on that. So I do agree with that. But at the same time, very, very position dependent. Like I see Apple still up 1.4%. Look at Meta. Meta had a reason today. We talked about the TikTok deal. But look at that. 118 basically to 1. That's $4 it dropped right there easily. But look at the move back. It made it back all the way $3 all the way to the backside right now. So this is a great time to trade, but you have to make sure that you're trading the right names and you have outs. Because I'll just take an example for Netflix right here. I was short. We did the trade of the day. That was $2. We should have taken that. We come back, battle with Netflix again, get out for 50, 60 cent hits, and then it rips to 310 again. So, you got to be careful with what you're trading here, but I do think that the risk right now are to people that are holding long positions. But again, if you're scalping it, then I don't fear too much there. It's
also recognize what's moving and what's
exactly.
What moved
it's
and what
holding
didn't.
overnight, right? If you're going to hold something overnight, then what if there's more missiles that happen to go through and they actually?
Well, that's a different story.
Exactly.
That's
so
a different
you have
story.
to scalp. Neil and I are flat at the end of every single day. So when you're seeing us put on positions, these are not long-term positions.
Well, I wouldn't be long-term.
They're in fact, pardon?
I think that almost goes with. I hope it goes without.
I
saying.
hope it does. We have new viewers all the time. We have new viewers.
No, that's a fair point, and that's why you've sort of seen me it had to show a sign of strength independent of what happened. If I'm going to take a long trade. Now, Apple 150 is kind of a key level, and I just went long in front of it with a relative stop. So I got 1-to-1 on it. That's more of a scalp trade. But BABA is about the fact that it shrugged off the break of the lows and is back above VWAP as if nothing happened. And then Snapchat had some news that I happened to like. But I did jump over to Tesla because I was looking at, I like the Intel short because that just goes back to some levels I was looking at yesterday. And then Tesla sets up the same way. The last couple of days, you had that resistance at 196. So we broke it today, and you broke 200, and you're right back respecting this 196 level after the news. So To me, that's going to give me an opportunity to jump in. I saw it break down 95s. And so the risk to reward, like here's your 196. I mean, forget it, like 1-to-1 down here at that 94 level. And then lower the days, a double bottom at 192. So it gets a level that I liked before. It's got some downside momentum to it anyways. It was a failed breakup at some of those tops. So that's why I kind of like Tesla here to find a bit of a short. I'm going to add to, actually, as a matter of fact, I need to go add to my Intel position because as this starts to roll over, now you have a wick top at 70, and I can add to this in the 60s. So, well, I can hopefully add to, there we go, add to this in the 60s. And again, risk to reward, the bottoms are all the way down here at 32.20. The things above VWAP are like that even at 150 on Apple. Like I said, that's a bit of a different story because I want to scalp off an even level. And then for something like a BABA, I can just have this respecting VWAP here at that 79 area. So far, it's been pretty strong. I want to make sure I'm taking profit on the way back in. You do know, as Sean said, we do have headline risk. So stops are, I think, almost a must in this market at this particular time. And I promised I would double check and keep going back into DWAC. Well, not going back into it because I actually haven't traded the stock today. Going back over to DWAC, I was hoping this would have some kind of a good consolidation breakout trade that I could just throw a bracket in so that if it takes out the top and starts running into the close, I have a decent setup, but it's not really setting up for a good breakout long yet. The moment it does, I'm likely to put a stop long just in case it does some kind of crazy 3 o'clock, 3:30, whatever run to the upside. I am thinking that's a possibility on DWAC today.
We just got out of Robinhood right there. We'll hit the siren alert right here. It did take the 50 period there. And again, like I said, I want to get out of some longs. We were just talking about, we only had 10% left, but we were just talking about Robinhood up here and saying like, oh man, maybe we should get out there. I couldn't believe we almost went back to day's high right there on Robinhood. But as it comes down, we got to stay disciplined right there. Breaks through 23s, I guess, and we wind up getting, I think we got 22s. Yeah, we got 22s. So we punched down there on that name and get it out. And then just to reload something here, Google, it just touched right there again, 90, and we got another piece out at 90. I'm not getting more here. So now, as I'm going to adjust my stop order, now I'm in this for the rest of the day until we take out 98.30. So I want to be in this until we take out this high, basically where we shorted it. Let's be in this until then. I want to go over why you need to look at whatever lines you're drawing. Like I was going to say Fibonacci. These are moving averages. I have a 200 period here. So look at Amazon. Like if you're looking to go short here, so first of all, here's the 200 period, right? You could take it for some long bounces. It worked. All right. Then all of a sudden, there's some consolidation underneath it, and then the move comes down, and then you get a turning. So if you were short, you probably don't get out of this trade, until you break that level. So then you're going to look over here, and then this is where, again, being on the show, doing too many things, stuff like that, they're excuses. Completely understand that, but just for a teaching moment for myself too, it comes right up to that level. Like here I am scrambling, and even as I'm doing this, I'm not noticing this level. Like it's stupid. I'm just like, oh man, I got to get out if this breaks 99.20. Like why am I getting out if it breaks 99.20 when that level's there at 99.60? So what I should be doing instead is taking less shares here, understanding that that's going to be my out. So when this happens, I'm already short with an out maybe up here on a break of the 200 period. So for me, lesson learned, be a little more patient with that trade, right? And so that's what I'm doing now. If we come back, now the level's up here at 50. So if we can get short around here, 99.40 for Amazon as we rip up, I feel like that's a much more comfortable position for me because then when you lose, and we say this, Neil said this yesterday, I believe anyways, that losing sometimes is a price of admission for trading. So it's like, at least when I lose here, I could say, okay, it went up here, I got short in front of the 200 period, it's exactly what I wanted to do, it ripped it up, that's fine, I lose, stamp a fail on it, a trade didn't work. But that, to me, is how you build winning ideas and winning trades, by sticking with them, back testing, and believing in the strategy.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Oh, I don't have the fist bump.
We lost the fist bump. It's a siren.
Oh, what? Okay.
right now. You know, fist bump, siren, very similar stuff.
Look,
so.
I echo all of that, and I did just get some out of Alibaba when it broke 79.50 there, very briefly. Now coming back into VWAP, I'll reload this, but if it can't hold VWAP, I want to be out of dodge. Apple's doing a very similar thing as well, where you see it, like you kind of, whoa, Apple chart. Where you sort of see it, I'll just go to the black chart because that's pretty much all I can do for you guys. When you see it sort of get to these highs, 150.50, so it goes 50 pennies and rejects it. So rinse and repeat off of those levels. Got to respect that as it keeps on doing it. Brendo, what's up, buddy?
Just watching the C Limited, guys. Keep my eye on some headlines here, but it would appear for the most part at this point, nothing new coming through to mention. So just a heads up on the overall market, kind of drifting around here. But SE just popped back up on volume here, trying to get back to day highs, up on a big earnings report today.
So that one is Sharif was all over SE today. Kudos to him for hitting that one. So I just got profit on BABA, and Apple's still in the money. Snap isn't though. But then we actually get Tesla, the first buck, down into this 194. So if it continues to trend lower, at least maybe we've got some relative strength and weakness, and whatever continuation direction we have, we can hold on to the ones that are working. However, this is Intel. It is still hanging right around this 3060. It won't break higher, but it's not exactly falling. So Tesla did come down for me there, but unfortunately, Intel not really making that similar move to that downside. So I'm not as confident in this Intel anymore. I'm going to tighten my stop up. I just want to note relative strength, relative weakness, and when we get a little bit of a pullback in the market, what goes and what doesn't go. Like what's actually giving you the reaction that you're anticipating or at least expecting. Yeah, I'm going to do it right now because I'm kind of in a really awesome mood. And hopefully it's going to continue in the rest of the show. But the Playmaker, you guys know him in the chat. He's been an unbelievable fan of the show. This just came for me today. And if you know what happened this weekend, you know, first of all, that I got your back, Josh. It was a bad loss. It was tough. But I'm always going to back and rep my Bills. And I was feeling like absolute crap when that loss happened. But the Playmaker came with an authentic jersey for myself. And he's giving gifts to Sean. He's giving gifts to everybody. And all I want to get at is we don't really ask for anything around here. But it is an incredibly humbling thing to have people in this community that actually care about us the way that we kind of care about the passion that we're trying to give to you guys. So thank you very much. I can't say enough how kind it was. And when he told me he was going to send me something, I was kind of like, oh, you don't have to do that. And he sort of insisted saying, you know what? Giving is, and I'm paraphrasing here, but giving is one of the best things you can do. It can actually be a bit of a selfish thing, giving, because you get so much out of it. So I'm glad you're part of our community. We try to give to you guys every single day to the best of our abilities, and the way that you guys give back is pretty cool as well. So with that said, let's get back to the markets. Let's crush them like Josh Allen throwing deep bombs to Stephon Diggs, which he will be doing more of when they trample the Browns this weekend. Thank goodness we play the Browns.
Man, don't say that, man. Shout out to Playmaker too. No, I'm telling you, man. It's you don't want to jinx your team, bro.
We gonna beat the Browns. We gonna beat the Browns.
We lost to the Jets. You lost to the Jets. I would think you're gonna beat the Browns as well. Yeah, put it on. Why not? Playmaker's there in the chat.
I just gotta figure out the mic though. That's the only issue.
Shout out to
I didn't think that one.
Playmaker there. Yeah, as long as Josh Allen works on those hands there, because fumbling that ball there, it's. The AFC is so tight, man. The AFC is going to be crazy. I'm like, oh man, the problem is I really hope that the Bills would host that home game. But now it's looking like it's going to go back in KC. Yeah. Unless KC gets somehow.
Make them play in the snow, man.
Yeah,
that would be.
Well, KC could be snow too. It's more just about the Bills Mafia and everything.
That's how we
involved.
You got to come to Buffalo in the cold, man.
Yeah. That would be good. Maybe you could even avoid KC too. That'd be the other thing. Maybe play Tennessee or something instead. Okay, let's go. But we got to win the division. That's the first thing.
Not sure that's
Miami
better.
is. I mean, shout out to Playmakers in Miami. So that should be a great game. Miami versus Bills for the playoffs. That'd be great. I'd love to see that one. All right. So I got sort of a little bit tired of just seeing Google dance here. So I'm short against 30. If it takes out 30, we're gone. We just put on another half position on for Google. So here we are. We're short now. We just put it on again. So we're short at 19 right now. 98.19 short for that position. And, if it comes back down, we'll take some more out down here near 98 flat, so on and so forth. Hopefully it does make that move back in for us here on Google. We didn't get anything out. We talked about getting out of Robinhood. We did that. I know there's some talk on the chat about Meta. So let's look on Meta. There is no update on Poland. I mean, Brendan's going to be there.
Yeah.
Apparently, there is another report that, yeah, it might have just been like shrapnel or, you know, like Brendan said there, a possibility of just back and forth debris. So I don't, you know, if that's the case, then I would say this is a nothing burger. But trust me, man, Russia does not want to get NATO involved. That would
Neither does NATO want to.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's not what anybody wants. So I'm hoping that that's the case, and I don't know. So we'll keep fingers crossed on that one. But there it is right there. We'll go a little bit of chicken dinner winner because we just talked about going short on Google. And again, if we can just scalp it out on an upsized position, well, it's only a half position, but I mean on a reload there for Google, then we'll do that. I said we would hold the rest until the cows came home, but right now, a little bit of a dump back down here. We're taking advantage because look at that. There it is, right back up to the upside. So let's not get distracted about Meta. I still think Meta is strong, but look what it's doing right now. Hard to make a call here on Meta. I would say you break the 50 period here, which is at 116.50, then you get a downside move because you're through all of this, right? This is what I call garbage. I said, get that out of here. So get this out of here, and then let's move off of it. So right now, Meta's barcoding itself. A downside move would be great, and an upside move, but for right now, you're hovering around the 200, and you're hovering around the VWAP. So for me, hard pass there on Meta. I wish I had more to tell you.
Yeah, a couple of things. Someone in the chat asked me to take profit on Tesla. Next out is going to be, well, my out, forget about next out. Out is in front of the double bottom. This is a wick bottom at 192, a double bottom. But you really have the bodies of these 3 minutes are at that 192 half. So that's where I want to get out. I just feel there's enough uncertainty with how the futures are trading kind of in the middle here that I don't know if we're going back to those lows. And I feel like if the market is really rejecting quickly, I can always back off of those. And then going back over to Snapchat, someone also asked about Snapchat. I wanted to give it to VWAP, but it's starting to want to convince me that it's going to be 1175, and now all of a sudden that's not just Apple. I'm getting the data issue here as well. So initially I was like, okay, buy the dips into VWAP, but then the breakout and I know the longs that I had when the news came out was off of 1175. So the longer it holds this level, let's say it bounces from here, gets back up towards the top, I'll probably just establish this as my out at 75 and then look for reloads in that range. BABA just came out, so that just broke VWAP into the downside. Apple could make that move as well. As that one, okay, I can't even show this chart.
What happened?
No, it's just whatever.
Oh, the Apple
chart?
chart?
Yeah, you know the Apple chart, but I can show you guys here on my black chart. It's fine.
Yeah.
We have, I actually have charts that I trade off of. That's why they're kind of black here. We show you guys the ones in white because apparently that's better on the eyes when you guys are watching. So this is that 150 to 150.50 range. I'm not going to be scalping reloading this on the long in Apple. It doesn't feel like, if this was going to bounce from here, I feel like it should have broken higher, right? But it hasn't happened. Like Sean said, there might be more risk to the downside, so reloading the longs in front is not the way to go here. I feel like I might still have some chance at Snapchat. And then Intel, I'm feeling a little bit better about holding on to the short. I haven't really gotten anything out on Intel just yet. I'm looking for this to start really rolling over. So it hasn't broken the channel down. Once it breaks this channel, then I can start getting back out in like the 50s, 40s, 30s, 20s. Maybe it goes down to 30 even. If Intel goes to 30 even, I'm definitely flat. I'm not really thinking that breaks.
All right, we just got another out at Google. The same thing, man. 98.05, another out there for Google. Just again, you know, taking 15 cents. I mean, if we could take the top and the bottom, you know, we'll do it. Holding for more now. I don't have any more bids anywhere there. I'm actually going to cancel my Amazon. It's not really, if the market rips, it rips, and we'll adjust that after. So canceling Amazon. Going to wait to see what's going to happen with that. I did want to go back over to Uber because we didn't really address that. They are increasing fares, which to me is a good idea. I don't think, although wasn't it you, Brendan, that was talking about? It was Brendan, and I'm going to throw it him in a minute, but I'm going to say the story first. He can confirm it for everybody there, because it's true, is that you weren't able to get an Uber, but then you took a taxi, and it was actually cheaper, if not the same, as an Uber fare. So I'm wondering if Uber's maybe losing some competitive advantage there, especially if local taxis that you could just flag out of the street are, again, affordable, because I always know there was a little bit of a difference. Confirm or deny, Brendan?
True story. True story. I was standing on the side of the road, looking at my phone, and the wait time was 12 minutes for an Uber, and there was not one but two taxis sitting on the street right in front of me, both available. Ended up being cheaper anyways, and they take Visa, so can't go wrong. I wanted to mention this. FDMT, big mover here this afternoon, guys. Up. This is the daily chart. Since earnings last week, this thing's gone from 7.5 to 18. Just took out the highs there from FDMT. This is 4D molecular to the upside.
So, okay.
Now, people are saying that that's true. So it happened to somebody in Vegas. I can understand Vegas and New York.
Yeah, I can see
all that
that
kind of stuff. Then someone said taxi drivers are shady or something. But hey, I don't.
No, I mean,
you
look,
know.
he's just passing on information. I think that's pretty cool. But
The
I
cool
wouldn't have guessed that.
The cool thing about Uber is you do get tracked in the app. So
Yeah.
I feel like there is maybe a safety feature with that as well. But true story, I'm going to look to do that again, because how frustrating is it when you're sitting there, you just had dinner or something, like Brennan said,
So this
the
actually-
Uber's like 30 minutes away or something.
And that sort of happened. That happened to me. I was downtown the other day with a buddy, and I was out, having a few pints, and then I couldn't, like, the Uber, like the first one, I don't know what the guy was doing. Like, he's just all over the place. I couldn't figure out King West. And then I'm like, there's cabs right there. I should just cancel this and hop in a taxi. And it's like 20 minutes later, I finally get another Uber.
See?
And it's like I could have just jumped in a cab. But that's neither here nor there. I got to show you. Took that out on Snap at 11.75. Apple did break. I'll show you the five. It barely broke that 150, but that was enough for me to get out. So the 15s that I have are going to be gone. And then now the market rolls back over. It's like, hold on to the shorts for targets. Just got the first one on Intel. It's finally starting to break back down. So maybe it gets to that low of the day. I'm leaning into thinking I like that long if we do see 30s, maybe even 30-20s on Intel. So we'll give it a chance. Tesla's still working to the downside. And then I did want to come back over to, it was Walmart. Was one of the ones I wanted to go to. Square was the other one. But Walmart, it eventually, if this will load up here, it eventually did bounce, actually, Walmart here. So it did make a bit of a bounce, but still only at that 149. And Block was the other one that was looking relatively strong. So as the market came back in, I was looking for opportunities potentially in Block. It has a chance to still bounce off EWAP here. So if the market wants to make a run upside, this is holding up rather nicely. But I need to see a bounce in the market first to get me to jump back into another long.
Shoot, man. Yeah, thanks for the talk there. Someone said nice short there on Google. I lied again. I did take a piece out there, man. We just rifled down there right to the 50 period, and I did take another out at 95. So here it goes, down to the downside. Now I promise, I should not promise anything because I probably will get out again at some point. I was going to say I'll hold this for a bit. I'm never going to, and that's what I mean. I'm not going to promise not to ever get out of this. I mean, if things change, man, we got mouths to feed, and trust me, my kids eat a damn hell of a lot. We got to pay the bills a little bit here. But I am now going to wait for this level 65 or so to come in here. So let's see. Let's give this a little bit of work. Let's go a little bit higher. Let's go 70. Let's go to 70. Stay true to who we are. And then if it dips down, I'm going to put the order out right now so I don't even have to look at it anymore. We'll bid around 70 there. See if we get a bid for Google. Watch that come through. The other short that I wanted, and I'm just talking big cap now because, I mean, it was just so aggressive the way these moved. We got short and got hit. So definitely, actually, so this is like the only negative stuff. I'm negative on Roblox and Netflix today as well, and slightly on Microsoft. But the bigger ones are Roblox and Netflix, definitely. And Netflix, I didn't short it at all until here. Again, and look what I was playing off of, right? This 307. We shorted that, then I was like, oh God, I got to do the trade of the day. I would have took something out for $2, but we don't have that on, so if we don't have it on, it doesn't matter. We averaged it back in when we saw that. Then it took the level out, all good. Didn't believe the move, got short again and got out. So we take about $1 and change hit on this name. Now, I'm looking at this 310.50 level. So if we can get back into like 310, which is about $1 from now, I don't mind the short in Netflix. Again, and I know, why are you shorting a strong name, right? So I know, but if the market stays below, I just think there's a lot of room to move. Like, what is that level? 308.40. If we take out 308.40, which is pretty close right now, then I think you can go short against 309.50. I mean, that's not horrible. About $1 worth of risk. You know, if you want, take 10 shares, like whatever you want to do here. You can go short on this break. I'm already short Google, but I'm going to look at this for Netflix there. I don't mind this at all. Underneath VWAP, underneath the 200 period, and if we break, we then would be, oh shit. shoot. Now I got to make the decision right now. It just broke right now, so let's just see what happens. I don't have the trade, but this isn't a horrible idea. Let's see what happens to the downside.
Yeah, we just broke 193 on Tesla, so rather than just sort of sit in there and get taken out, I'll probably just slap it. As it gets down to that support, what are you talking about, Neil? Support, I can always look to put a trail on this at a 193. Like, it's an extra 20 or 30 cents to see if it can't get to the actual low. Brendo?
Just be careful here, guys. We're leaning to the downside a little bit for the overall market. Russian defense officials now denying aiming missiles near the Polish-Ukraine border. So it remains up in the air, I guess.
But that's what it's going to be. But you have to take advantage, and congratulations if you do. It's all about price action. Look, the thing about, I know this is what you were talking about with Netflix, just try to trade things where the levels make sense to you, that were probably setups that you would have taken anyways. And then if you do that, then at least, it's going to make a little bit more sense. So I'd rather just be doing it. That's why I didn't hold Tesla through the low of the day thinking we're just going to absolutely flush. This news is going to continue to drive everything to the downside. I just like that 196 from before. It's a fail in the higher time frame, and I can show you the 15. I don't know why I'm showing you that. On the higher time frame, you have a failed break from that 96 that tried to get through 200. I was long that 200 break. It didn't do anything for me. As a matter of fact, it was a losing trade. And then on the news, you reestablished that 96's resistance. So just jumped into that short, scalped it out. I'm going to hold on to Intel, try to find something else. Every time the market bounces, I'm looking for another long opportunity out there. Not really finding too much that I do like.
Oh, here we go. Shoot.
I keep coming back to DWAC, and it's only because in the back of my mind, I keep feeling like there's going to be some kind of a little bit of a mini run at the end of the day, but the volume's just not there. So this might be a bit of a nothing burger in DWAC for the afternoon trade. I know Rumble was moving around earlier. Whoops, that's still a NASDAQ stock, Neil. Moving around earlier, but that 10 trade was probably the best one. It's holding above 11 bucks, so it's got some strength in it, at least in the last 30 minutes or so, but it's off that 11 level. So I need to see if there's any size down there that makes it worthwhile just grabbing longs in front of 11 for a nice little scalp trade. And then right as I'm looking for an opportunity to get long, we're right back to the upside. So my Intel, which looked like it was rolling over, it's right back to my entry. This is what the market's doing. I'm starting to get out of it, and next thing you know, it's testing right back up to the highs.
All right. So we'll just go, I don't know. We'll do this. I mean, we made money on it. Okay, so we're going to go short Netflix 309 right there at VWAP. Hopefully we can get that. It just spiked up, but we just missed it. We're at 50. It went to 44 there. I'm doing that because, hey, look, here it is right here, man. I mean, Google broke out. All good, man. We're out where we got in. So, we're in at 20, but we didn't have much left. I didn't want to reload it because, like I said there, with all these stories just coming full-fledged at us here, I don't think that it's worth it until we get to some key levels like that. So, and I don't really want to go short again on this name. And I say I don't want to go short again. New position alert short. On Netflix right now this time. One last shot, guys. One last shot. I like that break there. Then all of a sudden, Brendan just came with that story. I could have just punched long as soon as he said that. Russia denies aiming missile near Ukraine-Poland border.
What are they going to say?
I mean, come on, man. Russia denied something? I mean, I don't.
Are we really spiking? I don't know.
I mean, is that spike-worthy news there? I don't know, but hey, it is what it is right now. I hate trading. Honestly, I hate trading in this environment because it squashes everything else. Momentum, all that kind of stuff can change on a dime, and I just don't know. Is it momentum to carry the day? That's the problem that I have, right? When PPI comes out this morning, it's quite clear what's about to happen. Well, here on Netflix, I mean, here it is, boom to the upside, right? We saw AMD when it came out. There's my long in AMD. Easy to buy dips because we know the story in AMD is a long, right? But now I feel like we're kind of look at AMD even right here. Move to the downside, back up. We shorted it again, back down. Now moving back up again. So I think you got to be patient with a lot of these names. And just like that, we almost get stopped out of Netflix. Literally almost got stopped out. It goes right to that high again, 25 cents away from getting stopped out, and now back to flat. So, all right. I think we're just going to hold. Yeah, what's up before we go to Brendan?
No, I'm almost going to look for some small caps because if there's any small caps making moves, then they can maybe be a little bit independent of all this back and forth.
Yep.
Brendo?
I remember we got another one having a huge day here, guys. Remember we got Unity earnings last week. This is the daily chart. This is what's happened since. Here's Unity, guys, up 11.5%, just popping up on a volume chart among others right now, trying to get back to highs.
I got to say it.
I was just going to do it, so you do it.
Unity.
There we go. Dave Chappelle was on Saturday Night Live this last week, and he had some good characters on there. He brought back, oh shoot, what's the crackhead guy's name again?
Tyrone
Biggums.
Tyrone Biggums. Tyrone from our chat,
duh.
man.
I was
Tyrone
like,
Biggums.
what? How am I drawing a blank right now?
Next year.
Yeah, there was some. Yeah, come in with your mouth all cracked out. Yeah, that'd be hilarious. But yeah, people would be like, cut Neil's buying power there. Okay, so yeah. Anyways, that was good job there.
Or
Dave
just
Chappelle.
regular Wall Street.
Some funny stuff there, yeah, or just a day on the life, right? All right, I agree with you on the small cap there. Yeah, don't do drugs, of course. I agree with you guys on the small cap names. We are all still in new right here off the morning. That, I feel like this is probably safe now. I'm not going to get out of this until the end of the day, if and when, that does eventually happen. DraftKings back up to 1550 right now as well. That could be something to look at. And there it is right now, 1550 for DraftKings, up 6% today. Okay, there it is. Right there see, this is another thing, right? This is why it's triggered me. At the 200 period right now, DraftKings into some of this. So you get all this momentum to the high side, gets hit, back up, resists, now back in. So I just, like the NASDAQ is back to, I was going to say days high. Obviously, that didn't happen because of the PPI, but back to the afternoon highs, man. I mean, this is lunchtime right here. There's the move down. We've almost made that whole move back. So we were drifting down earlier. Obviously, once we break that low there of 11,950, it does make that move down 200 NASDAQ points, but we've almost got it all back up. And right now, I'm looking at this level and thinking short, but the short really hasn't been good over the last hour or so. So I don't know. We're already short Netflix. I'm willing to hold that one. My Google is still doing absolutely nothing. You know what? You know what's actually off of a key level that you could have probably held? I mean, there's no reason to get out of a 200 short on Tesla. So, I mean, I'm sitting here battling Netflix when Tesla's been pretty weak overall.
I was just going back to that.
Yeah,
I know I said I'd look at small caps, but
let's just go right over to Tesla.
What's crazy is it's definitely not a small cap. I was looking at everything that was on my scanner, my trade idea scanner breaking out or making volume was a lot of penny stocks that I wasn't seeing good levels on. So I might go back to the well for that level I like on Tesla. So it has to be 95 to 96. That's what I like. So if it gets back up there, I do want to try to play it. I know Peggy was making some moves earlier, but unless you got the long at 3, like I was long this when it broke out 340, but unless you got the long at 3, there's not much to dig into. It's not doing a heck of a lot of volume, and definitely it's not giving me an entry or giving me a setup. So I got to walk away from that. I'm about to get stopped on Intel, so even this is failing. Like it's not like it looks like I want to make a lot of sense here. Probably some of the long. If you had the longs off the bottom, it maybe didn't give you a reason to get out. So those look pretty solid in there. And then I do come back over to Rumble, if only because, and I just typed New York again. It's not New York. Like I was thinking about this 11 long. And then now this is starting to break out off VWAP here. I mean, the rumor, of course, was that Trump was going to make the announcement on Rumble a little bit earlier.
Well, not a rumor. He announced
No, that's what he said.
Yeah.
So in front of this VWAP, if we don't get 11, this is now starting to go. So this might give me something that was similar to what I thought DWAC might do. So I'm going to take a shot of Rumble. I might get something in front of this potential breakout of like 1140, 1145. Take some in the 30s. I don't think I want to hold it past 11 even, maybe even get some out if it breaks that quarter. But yeah, Rumble's starting to go here. I want to try to get at least a piece of this as there's something that's making a run to the upside that makes sense. And I'll give one more shot, I think, to Tesla if it does get up to some of those highs.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Meta here as well because it's trying to work high side as well right now. So if Meta, look, there's that break that we talked about on META, Meta. It broke above this 117.20. It went to 117.50 and stopped. So for me, if the momentum is going to be to the long side, I know that I want Meta long. So this is a name here that I'm willing to break the bank with here. So let's go to the bank and take some shares out alone on Meta, 117.50. And again, we'll be returning, it said, 50% loan at the end of the day for sure, and even closer than that if we do fail. And I'm just going to use this right here, 50 cents. I mean, let's see if we can get a 50-cent win here, windfall, I guess, as you would say. But right there, 117. I think if you break this, you can get into this high of the day area for Meta again, which is 118.50. That's $1. And then we'll for sure get a piece out at 118 if it goes. So I do kind of like this trade here. If the market does continue to want to push higher, let's take Meta breaking just a key level of 50. I like that trade. I don't want to get in right now. We'll just wait for 10 more cents. If it breaks it, it breaks it. All good on that front. But,
go
ahead. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm just...
As you may have noticed, I'm not actually long Rumble, but it happens sometimes. Like, we're going over the idea and sort of the thesis behind it, and then it does make the break. It just got to 11.50. So at this point, I'll just look for it to pull back. I obviously missed that trade. I always say, like, sometimes, hey, punch in first, then talk later. But it's about the notion, too. Like, a lot of times when we're on the show live, when we're talking through the idea, that's us processing it anyways. So it's not as if I just go over, pull up the stock, and be like, well, that looks like a good long and punch long. I'm actually thinking through it as I'm talking about it. So I probably wouldn't have been in that one fast enough because it looks like it just went anyway. So, and you have to have a bit of a plan. Like, you can't just pull up a stock and then punch in. That being said, no, I'm kidding. So Tesla just got to that 195. If it does make any kind of a jam back up here, this is kind of what I was looking like for a little bit of a short. And oddly enough, Intel didn't stop me out. So if the market heads back down here, at least I have a chance. Intel's getting back to break even. So the one short I'm in is still working out a bit. I see people talking about Robinhood. I don't know if you're still in that one.
Nope.
So, I mean, Hood, the price that makes sense, the price that makes a lot of sense for a key level, as this tries to load up, is obviously that $10 level. But this is showing some signs of strength up here as well. What it's not showing you is any volume. There's really nothing happening on this stock. If you got 10s, it's like, yeah, I have no reason to get out of that trade if you got it to the long side. But there's really no volume just yet. If it were to flush, hey, 10's got some good support on it. I'm going to try and get that Tesla short. Probably take some Intel out more aggressively as it gets back to break even, because I'm feeling the risk on these shorts is starting to increase. Brendo?
Just checking the float on this VVNT. It's actually not that small. 200 million share float. Vivint Smart Home. Just popping up here. You can see huge volume to the upside, guys, trying to take out the highs. Not seeing any headlines on this, but VVNT starting to go.
Well, duh. Vivint Smart Home.
Oh, I know why it didn't.
If you're not into that name, I mean, what are you even looking at?
You know what I just did?
Okay, here we go. Netflix.
Are you kidding me?
Just quickly here, because if you guys are playing at home with me as well, Netflix, we just got short at 310.05 again, so nice little pullback down here. This is gonna let me get a piece out at 309 right now, because we could take that dollar on that last piece. So here it comes. Let's just do that right now. Come on. If this runs away from me right now, that's going to be hilarious. And by hilarious, I mean not hilarious at all right now. So Netflix, print the bid, one more sweep down. I'm not going to tell you the price, but it might be higher than 11 and less than 13. So if we can get a move down in here, I have no idea why I just bid that right now. I'm actually going to pull it. And of course, there it goes. So let's see what happens right now. All right. There, yes, sir. Fooled you. We pulled our bid there, Netflix, and then we just punched out. So we punched out on actual liquidity. Ooh, Netflix, you got the best of me, bro, because now it's to the downside. But that's okay. A win is a win. We'll slap fail on Netflix as that just came out. We actually got 309.04 there, so good price on that. And now, of course, we can hold out. I was going to bid 308 flat. Right there, so we'll see if that can come in. That would be a good trade there, but so far so good on Netflix. And why did we reload it? Quite simple, guys. It just was not breaking it broke 310, but it just kept on going to the upside. I was like, I'm stuck there. So that gives me another opportunity right here to get out. So yay-hoo for us there on Netflix. If the market falls down now, we have a great price on a stock that I think has a couple bucks to go. So let's see if we can hold this one now into the closes. We just made a little bit of money back there on Netflix.
I see a lot of people talking about SPY 4000. ES 4000, I should be saying, not the SPY. So the ES, it's the E-mini S&P 500 futures. So it is bouncing back and forth off this 4,000. If it takes this out to the downside, then I think you got real threat of that low of the day. But I just relieved some pressure on that last little move in Intel as that came back in just slightly below break even. I said I'd take some out, get some more out if it gets to that 50 level. It's going to make a heck of a lot of sense. I didn't quite get that Tesla trade because I kind of missed that wick in there. So I'm going to see if I can grab it here. The problem is you're now drifting away. You're now drifting away from that 196 level. So if I get it, and come on, the same thing just happened in Rumble. I don't want to chase too far because if I get it, I want it to be now off this 195.50. So I'm going to cancel the back of those and then just leave these two in here. And if we get back into this 195.25, let's say, then I want to risk this high instead of giving it all the way back into said 196. And of course, when Brendan brought that news at VVNT or brought that one up, I'm like, why am I not seeing it? Because my momentum scanner on Trade Ideas was not scrolled to the top. Like the scroll, I can't make it up. My scroll bar was like this, and I'm like, I don't see it. I don't see it. What's going on? It's not moving your ass. Scroll to the top.
So what does that show? Just volume?
No, these are all high of the day. Like it's a high of the day, breaking high of the day on momentum, on good volume. That's the other thing too. Like you actually want there to be volume behind a move. So that's what that scanner is. It's not just anything that's breaking the top. It's just it gives you an idea there. But hey, you have to have it scroll to the top if you want it to continue to show you what's actually moving. That's only hilarious to me.
That's how it works.
Because I'm sitting there like, well, I don't see that. What are you talking about,
The market's
Brendan?
blasting back up a bit, maybe.
And now, of course, when I have the Tesla short.
Oh, yeah. So I've talked about this name a couple times and literally not even gone over to it. Uber. So I did that whole thing with Brendan. We did that story about Uber's pricing and all this kind of stuff. Comes back to me, Netflix, blah, blah, blah. And it sucks because honestly, I want to talk about getting long on Uber and we just never did it. I just got too distracted. Look at this. Higher low, higher low, higher low, breaks high of day. It's Netflix, sorry, see, even now. Look at all these, just kept on going, kept on respecting all these levels, nice little upside move there. Now breaking back above 31.50 for the umpteenth time today. And now trying to tail out though. I just see that right there. We get a little bit of a tail right there up to 31.80. That sometimes is a little bit of a short notice right there, but I don't want to go short on Uber. So if this was a name that I was like looking to go short, ooh, look at that, because here we go. So lesson time. All right, so right here, look at it. Here's another topping tail right here at 224. Boom to the upside, top tails, downside. Here it is again. And look what it's after. This is how it works. It's like you get big time movements to the upside, right? Like there's a huge move up. There's the exhaustion tail right there, the wick top, and then there's the fade back down. So when you're looking to trade some names here, especially if you're scalping, big move up for Uber, already up 9%, keeps going, gets exhausted, top tail, makes that move back down right to the 200 period again. Here it is again. Nice move to the upside. This one stops a little bit, but then continues. There's that topping tail again, all the way back down to the downside. I don't know if this one will retrace there, but that gives you that. There it is. See, look, still pushing down. That gives you that scalp. So when you're looking for trades, you could even have it here a little bit on the downside. Boom, boom, boom. Aggressive move. Bottom wick tail right there. Tombstone, whatever you want to call it. Nice little move there, igniting to the upside. So when you're looking at that, that's Uber. That's a trade. A little bit of education right there.
I'm your Huckleberry.
Oh, you had that trade?
No, Tombstone.
Oh, Tombstone.
That's what my favorite Western of all time is Tombstone. It's not even remotely close. I say it every chance I get that Val Kilmer has played two of the most badass characters in the history of movies.
Batman. I knew that would get that response, so we can move on that.
Okay. One of them was Iceman. The other one is now you got me. Of course, Tombstone. He was absolutely ridiculous in that movie. But I did get some out of Tesla on that bit of a curl. It just got to 194 and bounced off 94. That's an even dollar bounce. I'll just get some out there. If Tesla and Intel are going to work out, fair enough. I did want that Rumble long, but, and a big but, like it makes that bit of a break, and I'm going to back off of this bit just a little bit there and closer to VWAP. So it makes that little bit of a break as we were talking about it, and now consolidates off the top. So at this point, it's either just clean break 1150 or pull back into VWAP around those quarters. I'm not gonna say diddle as I like to talk about. So it's either going to be a breaking back out again, and then we can get a scalp trade in maybe 70 or the highs, or wait back for VWAP to come in here. So I'm not going to be bidding in those 30s. Let's see if it can actually break that top. We'll see what happens. And obviously we still have plenty of time actually. It's only 3:13, right? So there's plenty of time in this market. It just feels like the entire afternoon is gone because ever since that news hit, things have been absolutely insane. I'm going to tempt fate by jumping into Apple, and I kind of jumping over to Apple, not into position in Apple, because I know this chart's been giving me trouble. maybe my 15-minute will give you a better idea. So Apple's still showing some signs of strength. I got out of that long and maybe should have jumped back over to it off that 150. I'll try to get rid of some of those wicks if I can. But this is showing some signs of strength. I think the market is going to have a better chance of holding this 4,000 level if Apple doesn't break down from here. So I'm going to be watching Apple. If Apple takes it down, I think this 4,000's kaputs, and I'll have even more confidence in some of these shorts. Sometimes I just want to see one of the big names follow the lead as well as the overall market. But that 4,000, like you're going 2 or 3 handles away, up or down, and not making a decision. So at this point, it's very undecided here. I want exposure in both directions, but I cannot find anything I really love to that long side, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still scanning through a bunch of different opportunities here. I mean, that Uber would have been a good one there. We missed that top tail, like we just talked about. And then we still have, I mean, we're still on this Netflix trade. I was just looking at it. I still like it. What about Shopify up 5% again? Kind of in the middle here. We can call up Shopify. I don't want to talk about it and I'll look at it. I'm looking at different charts. I have lots of different charts around, so does Neil. So we're looking at different things there. That Meta's breaking down a little bit lower now. Spider's at 400. That doesn't really matter. Tesla breaking down as well. I mean, not really. 195. Palantir. Ooh, nice day for Palantir today. Oops, I've never traded this before. PLTR. Just playing around. They're on New York. Nice little 3.5% move today. Again, just at the top, not moving. We need to find names that are moving. So that's why we go over to some different scanners, like we just talked about that with Neil. What I like to do is here, if I'm going to look. I mean, I'm not looking long or short right now, and you know, this is a race scanner right now. Neo, what's Bed Bath & Beyond doing right now? So Bed Bath & Beyond leading the way to the downside scanner right now. This is biggest loser in the last 5 minutes. So yeah, okay. So I guess a percentage-wise, that doesn't seem like that is there, but Xpeng low today, winning a lot of these races. Snow, Neo as well. So some of these ADRs that are coming through right now lead the day. But shout out to Trade Ideas and Michael Noss there. You guys can hit him up. Trader TV Live, go over there, use our code. It's on our watch list as well. You could save 15% on Trade Ideas. It's the only affiliation that we have with anybody. We vetted their software, we use it, and the deals are aplenty. It's Trader TV. Push that in when you're registering to grab your 15% off. Trader TV. I think that's all you need, Trader TV, to get that 15% off. Or find our watch list, click on the link there, and you are good to go. Maybe if we have that graphic, we can call that Trader TV Trade Ideas graphic up there, Fahad and or Lucas. If we have that, that would be kind of cool for right now. But okay.
Oh, here comes Tesla.
New York City taxis are also now increasing their metered fares by 23%. 23%. The
like
first increase since 2012. Yeah, I think they need to do that then at least 23%. Gas, cost of living, everything like that.
Keep going up.
Cost of everything going up. So yeah, shout out to you guys, taxi drivers out there. You know, again, you know, big part of the economy there. That's why Uber's been working a little bit as we reopen. But let's wait to see what happens with that one there. Increasing prices all over the place.
Yeah, and as I say it on Intel, you know, it just broke to the top. I just got a little long on Intel. I was just checking out Lemonade because someone actually asked me about Lemonade, so I wanted to make sure I got over to that chart to see if anything was happening. Rumble broke the 1150, so I got that long. But Intel took out that channel, so I'm now out of this. Tesla got back to the upside, so part one, scalp at the higher low, and then if it tests back up to this 95, try to get the re-entry point, but I'd like a better price, a little tighter to that 95 level. And as I said, Rumble did make that move through 1150. Haven't really taken anything out yet till it gets closer to that 60 level. Brendo, what else do you have for us?
This little PERF has been popping up in front of me multiple times here. Very, very thinly traded, low volume stock, but it's a recent addition to the NYSE here. Back to the downside now, just halted and resumed even lower. Still looking for anything regarding this. Seems to be just social media led. I should double check the social sentiment board, but PERF, worth a note here, guys, up huge.
Welcome to Perf, as a
yeah. What is that from? Why
a
do you
certain
keep saying
Chris.
that?
No, because that's welcome to Earth.
Oh, Perf. I get it.
You know, like Will Smith in
Mispronounced.
Independence Day.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, I'm still. Is that too scary? I don't want my kids to watch that one yet. I don't think. I don't know.
My daughter is. We have this dinosaur book that it's basically turned into every single day when I read her stories at night. I'm reading the same story, and it's not a story. It's like an educational book on dinosaurs. But she loves it, so we're going through it. She like has so many of them memorized.
Read the same book like.
But I've told her
times.
I've told her about Jurassic Park now when we see some of the animals, and so she's like, I want to see this movie. Yeah. She's 5. Oh. There's no way.
Yes, there is. On Netflix, there's a kids Jurassic Park type thing. I'm telling you, I don't know. You guys can confirm it. I'm telling you, there is one, and it's great, and it's good. I don't know what it's called. What's it called?
Camp Cretaceous.
Camp, that's exactly what it is. Camp Cretaceous. Right. It's a good one. Check it out. Double check the ratings on it, but it's cartoons. It's fun. My kids have watched and like it. So that's a good one there. Yeah, there it is.
Done and done.
It's really good.
That movie will scare the crap out of her, man. She won't sleep for a week.
I took my 10-year-old to see New Dominion or whatever that last one is. He loved it, of course. But
I still haven't seen that.
He's 10, so all good there. But
yeah, I mean, all right. Baron will be.
Yeah, so there it is. Camp Cretaceous is a good one for sure. Have her watch that. She'll like it. All right, back to trading. Let's check out AMC. I mean, what's up with the Nation right now? Let's go check out what you guys are doing today with AMC. Okay. I don't know if we're having data problems or like slow charting here today, but it seems like it's taking a little while to load. All right. When I see a chart like this in the middle, that's kind of a no-fly zone for me. But AMC, again, wow, good job, man. I mean, it's up another 7%. What was that bottom? 4? Yeah, 4 or 5. Sorry, 5 exactly there. You know, plus you got to add the ape shares and so on and so forth. Those of you that are in this know what's good. But you're above the 50 period now on AMC. That's great. We talked about this last week. As this was happening, I'm like, Wakanda forever, Wakanda forever. Don't forget about it. And then, you know, that's caused it. Because I remember when Top Gun was released there in the summer, it definitely rallied AMC for a bit there. I'm almost certain. I mean, it wouldn't be surprising if that was right into, like, what was Top Gun's release date? Like, something here, maybe July 7th, something like that.
Was it a July 4th release? Like, was it?
That would make sense because there's the bump.
Well, that makes a lot of sense.
I'm remembering that kind of stuff. So right there, we knew that there would be some motivation to get that. But you are right here again to 9,850. So that's going to be a key level. We'll look for that today. Maybe a break of 8 gets it going here into the close. It's already 320. As you can see, I'm still holding New and Netflix to the short side. The futures aren't doing anything. Like, I can't find a name to go with you guys here. But there's 8 right there, break. You know, and again, we had that garbage up top like we talked about. But as you can see, when we broke 8 for the first time, it went up 20 cents. We came back, tested a little bit, wicked that. But then that second break caused that huge move down. So that leads me to believe that, hey, if everything's okay and those missiles are fine and they did not hit Poland after all, then maybe we do take 8 one more time. So watch out for AMC on an 8 break. I don't mind it. I just wish the market would do something here. You know, this is, I don't know. I mean, we're not into that meta trade. That didn't trigger. Nothing else happening. I guess we can look at SoFi.
Like Rumble went 4 cents in the money. Like, it's just sometimes like you can't will things to move. You can just trade a setup, and then if it happens, it's going to do what it's going to do. But someone just asked about Rivian a little bit here, and I don't mind. I took one trade in Rivian off the 35 level when it was, so it had that big tank at the open or right before the open, and then I took one short in the lower consolidation. It broke out. I went away from it, but look at the clean double top that just formed there. The only problem with that double top is, you know, when it does break this 36, there's your next. It's like 36.5 on the daily chart, then 37. Like, it's got some stair steps in it, and probably cleaner when it gets through that 37. But this is, as far as trends go, I'm not always into drawing trend lines, but that's not too. That's when I see something like this, it's not about, oh, you just go long every single time it gets there. But let's say we have a continuation to the downside tomorrow. If this is beneath that, I would be looking for some shorts. I'd probably like a 34 break anyways. But when I see things like that, when I first started trading, I was that tool that had like trend lines, I mean everywhere, and it's like you just leave them in there and they were all over the place and it was too much of a mess. But sometimes they can be pretty useful to identify a trend, and this is definitely on one. So if you got the long here, and congratulations to you, it probably is headed toward that high of the day as the market has picked northbound off this 4,000 at this point, and I'm sitting here Rumble long because Rumble really cares what the market is doing.
It does. It does.
No,
it doesn't. We'll wait to see here. Okay, so here comes Meta. We said we're not in it yet. This could be the next one. Netflix went up and we got out there. So I don't know. We made some money back, but nothing at the end of it all. There for Netflix as there, I'll just show you to you. I thought we'd get into this right away, but we're not getting into it. I did see someone talked about AT&T. I actually, see, there's charts. There's Meta. So it just, sorry, Netflix. It broke above, and we just got out. We literally got 51s or something on a break. So we wind up getting a good out there. So, in, out of a third, out of 2/3 for the loser there on Netflix. So can't do much about that. I haven't traded Meta today, so we are waiting for that break. I mean, this is, again, what we're doing. Like, I'm not going to fault myself for going long here on this break. I mean, here, there it goes. So there we go. So guess what? We're long. There it is right there. We trigger into that long now at 51. So let's go. I mean, we have 117 there. I think this is worth 50 cents. It's not a full position, nothing like that. Let's just play the momentum into the close here and see if we can get going on Meta. Someone in the chat said AT&T. I think that's a good name, to be honest with you here. I just looked at it. It's breaking some levels there, starting to go. And look at this. Look, this is a great call. So shout out to whoever that was in the chat there. AT&T is a good one. Actually, I can find it. Someone just said it to me. Whatever. If it was you, put it in the chat again. I'll find you. But right there, nice little move up. We did already break it once. It went to 01s and stopped. So I don't know. I don't know how good it is, but this is a level there that I could see going. I just, like right now, this is why we're not using big shares. It's like, is the NASDAQ going to go or not? Like, we're breaking this key level. This is something that I looked at, right? Coinciding with that Meta long. There's the dip down there, reject, boom. Here's the move down in, hit it, tank. Here it is right here, reject, move down. Are we going to the upside or not here? So I don't know. Like, we're playing these levels. We got taken out. Like, Netflix is probably back down again. Well, actually, Netflix is right here. Meta, let's just hold out hope that this can hold, man. 117s are out. I'm not even going to give this to... Normally, if this was in, like, 10 o'clock, I probably would give it to that level down there, but I'm not going to do that. We will average back in just to play the range. We're very light on this trade, but there it is. Like, instantly out of the money, 20 cents. I don't know. I'm not just going to keep on giving money back here when the market's not doing anything.
That's what I'm just sitting here, like in the 50 long of Rumble, in the short in Tesla, which is coming back like 20, I mean, like barely anything, like 20, 30 cents to the downside. It needs to go more than that to get that first up. We get some good questions in here in the chat. I know.
Oh, good.
Someone that you talked about AMC already. It is getting close to that $8 level. I know I liked it earlier. I still do favor that $8 break. It could be pretty good. And this VVNT. Now the problem with VVNT could be that volume is a bit of a concern for me on a top break, and the spread is a little bit. The spread right now is only about 3 cents, but I've seen it open up a couple of times, so it's not as liquid as I would have expected, especially for stock making a move like this, which makes it difficult to trade if it's not going to be all that liquid. But yeah, if you just kind of had this one in the consolidation, or maybe when Brennan gave it to you, it's got some reasons to hold on, but buying the top of it on the volume kind of tapering off here is not something that I would necessarily endorse. It's just definitely a good setup, and that's why you got to maybe just jump right over to it when Brennan was giving this as a catalyst, because when it was making this, you could have taken that breakout, maybe even at that $10 level. But as I said, AMC is getting pretty close. Like it was just at 97 when I was bringing this up and went over to VVNT. I'm like, it's about to break $8. My stop's going in there. I'm going to scalp the long, hopefully get 801s, 802s, take some out in front of 10s, in front of 15s. Maybe it runs at the high of the day. Right after I decide to bring it up to you guys, it's pulling back in. That's the kind of market it is. So, yeah, we'll have to wait for that $8 break. Still some time for it to happen. I am on the bid in front of 194 again on Tesla, so I want to take some out. And then right back at 193. So I want to rinse and repeat basically the move we made before on Tesla, because at least that has worked out for me. Let's see if we can repeat that again. All
right, well, we said we'd do it, so there it is right now. Let's just... I don't know, like we keep talking. We don't have any new animations, but I know Fahad's looking to make us some new animations, so we'll just do idea. I don't know. There's the idea of averaging into Meta. So we've averaged into it now. Our price is right here at 34. We got an 18 bid. We got a 50 break bid, or not bid. That was a marketable order there. Got it out, got it in. So now let's wait to see what's happening as Meta right here. We just took another fill, waiting for 117. I mean, I hate to say it, but literally just waiting for levels to break. I mean, here we go. So we get wicked out of our, not wicked out, we took it out, of our Netflix, which is, just kind of doing nothing. And then there it is right now. So now Meta, it's just waiting out you know, you don't need to be in something, and that's what we just said. So like this is a pretty light position here. If the market does want to, you know, rip up here, we have it. If it goes down, it sucks because we will lose on it because, you know, whatever amount of shares you have, if you lose, you lose. But I think this is worth the risk. Again, we'll try to take a piece out at 50 if it comes back up there, take our 15 cents and then hold the rest for an eventual break. But it looks like it's going to break to the downside, and when it does, then we lose. We're long at 34s, so then we lose 34 plus slippage. So, you know, not great. We need at least to come back up to the upside. And there it is right now at our reload level as the market is just like figuring itself out. Do we even have the close yet? That's going to come up right now. Yeah, 3:30. We'll get an update on what the market on close orders are. I don't, I mean, I don't really care too much about that right now. Would like to see it be a bid. But for right now, we'll just hold on to this meta trade and see if it does anything. But as you can tell by my voice, like I'm not super excited about this trade, but we'll sit in it. I mean, I want to be long meta anyways.
I'll go gates of hell for you, Tesla. No, just kidding. It's not really falling that far, but it did get to 194, so at least that happened. There's no big follow through. Like earlier, we were getting, and when the news hit, like you're getting big, wide ranges. Like you're retracing $3, $4 after you tanked $6, and now things have really tightened up, and I'm trading in a dollar range here. Playmaker, you're the best. It says Fahad won the Powerball with only 3 numbers. If Fahad won the Powerball, I don't think he'd be cracking up right there at our desk. He gone if he did. Although when Fahad wasn't here, we did talk about that foul shot challenge, which I'd still like to see happen. I actually want to Fahad. I want to back you that you could do. I think it was like you said 70.
My number's 73.5.
You said 73.5%
on 100 shots.
Where I would like the compromise to be is I think 100's a bit extreme. I think if you put that to like 50 foul shots, you know, then we can go like 36, 37.
No. My whole thing was the endurance. He doesn't have any of it.
100 seems like a lot. So I have to have a conversation with my boy whether he can handle 100.
Oh, let's ask him right now. Can you do 100 free throws?
The problem is he's going to say yes.
Right now. Yes, so thumbs up.
The problem is Fahad would say yes if it was 1,000. I think that's whatever. Okay, whatever. Just for fun.
All right.
Well, we'll figure out what we want to do.
We are planning on, let's figure it out. Let's figure it out. Yeah, we love Fahad, man. I mean, without him, I mean, the content this guy gives us is pretty solid there. All right, so there goes Meta. I mean, just about to get taken out here as it does take down 117. We're giving it a little bit more love down on the downside for that trade. So we'll wait for that. If it, you know, we're very, very close to getting out. Now that it's made that move back up, like honestly, I'm just thinking to myself, because Netflix, I mean, we just, I don't know. Maybe let's just hold this, man. If we get taken out, we get taken out on this trade. Not much I can do. We thought we'd go long. We were holding shorts. Then we got taken out of that. Now we're just dancing around here. This is my best day anyways in November, so close to it anyways. So it's fine. It just does suck that we were able to. We did give some back today in the afternoon, right? Like we tried to go long on, or long, was it long? No, short on Netflix, that lost. Our Amazon trade, again, you know, we left it alone, but look at it. Look, this is a setup that we talked about there, getting off that 200 period. It was been pretty nasty. Like if I traded this, that would have been nothing there. So we lose a little bit on that short as well. And then let's just go back over to Google, where we did lose a little bit on this. Well, actually, no, Google was fine. Actually, you know what? It hasn't been that bad this afternoon. Just frustrated more than anything else.
So Rumble came to my order. Like it actually broke out again. So it just goes every 5 pennies. It goes right up to my order. Doesn't fill the offer. So I decided to take some out at 60, and then it's right back into break even. So this is just sliding around doing a heck of a lot of nothing. That's why I wanted to trim some and get some out of it. Tesla's getting close to the bottom. But the market's not exactly capitulating or anything down here. So if it gets to 193 again, like I said, I want to be able to get at least something is starting to make some moves into the downside. But guess what? As that goes down, guess what's going up? Yeah, it's AMC. It's back up to that 8. So still have some time on the clock. Obviously, you could have just bought the dip at VWAP, but I'm kind of been looking for that $8 break. Back in. When it was at VWAP, I was kind of looking for it to bounce and retake that level. I just like that even break sometimes. You give it to like the 95 or something, get a quick little scalp out. I'm looking for there to be size in the offer. I'm not seeing it. But if this can actually make a bit of a move here, I think this one has a bit of a chance. I was going to look at DWAC, but it's not doing anything. Just coming back over to Intel, which is, you know, a lot of the chip names really reversed. I'm glad I got out of this. Now, I know I could have still been sitting in this short and maybe scalping it out, but look at it do absolutely nothing since I got out of the trade. Just be going back and forth, gliding to the upside, 3 or 4 extra pennies against me. So if there's nothing to do, then you don't have to sit in it as it goes against you. You can always get out and move on to something else. Brendo?
The overall move in the market here, the retail group of stocks, I guess, within the consumer discretionary sector is still among the top performers. Here's Target. Ahead of earnings, remember earnings to come tomorrow, up on the Walmart report, obviously, but just saw this one. You can see a little bit, to say the least, of sell volume coming in here, still up 4.2% for Target today, ahead of earnings.
All right. Well, we saw a good number put up by Target, or sorry, by Walmart. So that would generally spark Target. We saw that last time when Walmart missed badly. Target came out with a very, very similar report. Remember, they're on. Here it goes. I thought the market was going to get going there again, and we just touched the bottoms where we were, and I thought we were going to take the 50 period again there, and we didn't. So we're going to watch out for that. It's all good though. I mean, I got to go home. I've already told Marissa, my wife there, to make sure that my kids start getting those shovels out right now.
Baron shovels?
Yeah, I don't think Baron shovels. Yeah, of course.
Obviously I know.
Yeah, well, Baxter's not at home, but he'll shovel here. You guys can see right now, we'll see, this is what we're talking about. So here it is. I stepped outside, you can see pretty snowy there. This was when it first began right there. So there's our Trader TV Live sign there. But yeah, it's snowing, baby. Follow me on Twitter there. But anyways, fun times ahead. Who knows what we're going to be doing right now. But there it is, snow coming through. So I get to go home and see all that. But let's just hold out on hope on Meta. Brendan came with the story of $282 million to buy. So maybe there's something there to look at there on the buy side for Meta. Yeah. Sorry, for the market. Hopefully that will spark a little bit of Meta. We're still in this new holdings. I might just get out as we're just sort of down here at the bottom again. If the market fails, though, at least we have something short. There's not a big piece left. It's 10% left. We always try to hold that. So that's why I'm not super excited about it. One name that we got out that Neil's asked me about was Robinhood. We got out right there, right when it took the 50 period. It's kind of doing nothing since there. So good in on Robinhood early at $10 break. We got it nice out there at 35. And right now, all these names kind of just hovering around, waiting for Meta to do something here. I don't know. Look, see, they're just climbing. If I was long at 17, I would probably scalp this out, but we're long at 17.35.
So, I mean, AMC did break 8. I'm long predictably at 801 because it's not rocket science. But Tesla bounced in front of the 193, kind of didn't get to my order, and is catching a bit of a bid. So this is not necessarily about the imbalance or anything like that. But I'm just going to take this one out. So as it comes back up here, my target was this level at 193, and when it gets that close and starts bouncing away from it, I'm just going to get out on that. It's like having a trailing stop, only I did it manually. That's the move I was looking for. It got there, didn't quite follow through enough to give me the fill. But you know, it's just, we were sort of talking about just find something at a level that makes sense to you, and then just go over to that as we had that news come through that we hope I hope it's a nothing burger, but ultimately we don't know until things hash themselves out. So it's the same short over and over again on Tesla, but at least it made sense. AMC's a clean even dollar break, but it's already been through this level. So this is not going to go ape or anything like that. I'm just looking for the break back. This is the $8 area. I was looking for it to reclaim that and then scalp inside of this range, up to 815, maybe even that high of the day. I did get out of Rumble because, quite frankly, it just stopped moving. I was sort of complaining about how it just was doing absolutely nothing, made this little break, got to the offer, rejected it. I was able to get some out at 60, and then it did this candle. I'm like, no moss, I'm just getting out. This stock, not moving, no volume, walk away from it altogether. That's what makes some sense to me, is not to force it or fight that one. And I do see a couple of names out there. Yeah, even AMC doesn't have a ton of volume. I like the price level, but now that I'm looking at that break, it's not exactly teeming with ridiculous volume. But someone just brought up PayPal on the in the chat maybe a minute or so ago. Look at this double bottom at 90 even, on just a little bit lower than 90 even on PayPal. This makes a fresh low. It's actually breaking it right now. As the market's heading back in below 4,000, it's hard not to like this breaking down on PayPal. I was just talking about Block was showing some signs of strength. PayPal going the other way and actually could turn red. If we were to move down heavily here, I could see PayPal turning red. But this 90 break has to get through the previous low, which is 89.95. That was from earlier in the day.
I mean, Like, I don't know what else to say. If there's anything you guys want us to watch, let's check out DWAC quickly here. You were just there, yeah. So there is some size following it down. I saw that there. We're at the low of the day now for DWAC, so I feel like, good call if you're in this name and you were looking to fade that announcement tonight, apparently 8 p.m. There, and it's going to be announced live on the Rumble platform, according to President Trump. So I'm assuming he's going to announce that he's running. I mean, I don't know. He called it the greatest day in U.S. history coming today. I mean, there's been some pretty phenomenal days. That's going to be pretty hard to beat. But we'll see there if that isn't, it's a hype machine. So
I'm going to guess the Independence was probably a good day.
I feel like there's been a lot of good days for the Americans there. What was that day that they beat us in hockey, 72? That was pretty great there. Okay, so just noting here that these are real shares. I don't know, why does the share size 69? I don't know, man. This DWAC stuff is
if you're going to spoof,
just funny. But someone's spoofing it on Memex and Arca. I have Arca and Arca book, so I should probably take one off.
If they were smart, they'd pop like an Edge X, so a third order, and they'd put it at 42, just to.
Maybe don't say that because now someone's going to do it. There we go. Oh, went to 70. Ooh, see, it's following what I'm getting at here.
Real.
Yeah, regardless of the size and regardless of what's happening here exactly, is that the size is following it down. So what we mean by that is, there's pressure on this name. You can see that we're just trading in hundreds of shares, if not less than that. So when you see 8,000 sitting there, it does hold the stock down a little bit. That looks like I had a cross quote there. There it is. So back up to 63. So we'll refresh it so you can see now. Let's see if it starts to follow it down. So we'll make mental note that this is at 63. Let's see if it goes to 60. So see now it pulls it, comes back. So, there's the fill. It actually marketed it down there, 6,500 shares. So, and they're back. I feel like there is some realness to this trade here.
So I just got trap triggered into PayPal. So I was actually on AMC about to talk about it, but I'll show you what happened on PayPal very quickly.
It's a trap.
It was absolutely a trap. It slammed the bid, and it's the second I get to fill, it's broken that 89.95, the fresh low. It's instantly back at 90 even. I'm like, no, I don't want to fall from that. Not this late in the day. Maybe it does go, but I'm just going to get out anytime it's that kind of a move. I don't need that one getting all the way back to 90.25 or 90.50 on me. I'll just take the 5 or 6 cent hit and be like, okay, that was kind of ugly. Yeah, you got me in there. Maybe it needs to consolidate below her. And even AMC is now starting to go sideways a little bit. I want to go back over to Tesla because that's made some sense. We're getting on in time here as we get to the end of the day. And thank you guys for tuning in, obviously. It's been one of those markets where there was almost no way you were going to get the types of moves that we had leading into 2 o'clock when the market flushed on that news coming out of Europe. There's almost no chance you're going to get that big of a move or continuation unless that just got really affirmed. And we're glad that news didn't get affirmed or anything like that. So it was never going to happen, but at least we got some good trade ideas for you and a way to navigate this type of an afternoon where it can be frustrating and you are looking for the home runs, but you want to sit it out and have a plan of action. All we ever ask, take a second, hit the like if you can, hit the subscribe button more importantly, and just pay it forward. That's what it's all about here. If Tesla gets back to 195, that's the only price I like. So I want to give it some time to be able to get back up into that price. That's where I want to see it go. I have to get out of this AMC if it's not going to move. This is exactly like the Rumble trade. Right, it starts breaking out. If you have it early, fair enough. But if you have it late, it's got to start going. And the volume, while moving up and breaking out on the higher volume candle into the 8 break, it's now immediately tapering off and doing lower volume. So I might just have to walk away from this one. It's kind of like PayPal there, where I took the 5 cent out. I'll just take the 5 cent out here. But I'm not giving up on PayPal. I just didn't like the way that it broke that low on me with that crazy little bit of a wick. If it wants to consolidate again and may take a couple of shots at this and the market gets back below 4,000, there's still time for this to flush into the close. But it's hard to love shorts through the bottom if we're still above 4,000 on the ES. It's almost ridiculous the consolidation that we're seeing here. Just back and forth off this 4,000. You don't go more than 5-10 handles up. You don't go more than 5-10 handles down. This is a 15-minute chart. So that's the last hour that we've essentially done nothing off this key level in the futures. And that's why you're seeing us a little bit lighter in terms of how many actual fills we take, because quite frankly, all you're doing is getting yourself washed out back and forth if you don't get a key price level.
All right, Playmaker.
That ain't even fair, man.
I know. This is what Playmaker sends me here when he talks about, when I say, man, get me back to Miami. Here's the 305. Shout out to you, Playmaker. Yeah, Boardwalk there. Oh, man, the memories. Thank you so much for that. Good times had by all.
Beach,
we will be returning at some point to there, but I still want to work on that Vegas Trader TV Live meetup there.
You know I'm down with it.
Don't do trigger fingers at me there, Prad. Yeah, Twitter fingers turn to trigger fingers turn to Twitter fingers. Yeah, okay, so yeah, live to fight another day. I see that there, Jaegerbaum. I think that's 100% right, man. It's like, let's just, you know, relax, calm down. We did talk about all these positions that we're putting on. We're kind of like play money, but still, when you lose, it sucks. We are still long on Meta. It's just dancing around 117, waiting for it to break lower. When it does, man, we're going to get out. I was almost out here. I mean, I could have got out at 25. It danced around there. I was like, do I just take a 10-cent hit and forget about it? But then if it ripped up, I'd be like, why did I do that? We waited all day for this, or all afternoon for this. But right now, looks like we're going to be stopped out on Meta to the downside. And there's not much I can do about that except for just sit there and watch it. Let's just check out Walmart. That's going to be one of the big movers today, of course. And look, even what Walmart's doing right now, I mean, I don't know if there's really a trade in this name either, other than looking for these tops and bottoms, which nothing's hitting. One name that's down today that a lot of traders look at every single day, Mullen, down 4% today. Of course, that can... Okay. There it goes. Of course, that can change at any given time here because it's such a penny stock. You move up 2 cents, and the next thing you know, you're up 10%. But Mullen again today, nice move to the downside right there. I don't know, if you're looking to protect that 30 level, it's broken it here today, and that bottom 26. So Mullen again, over the last little while, pretty calm itself. I think Mullen is poised for a breakout. One good piece of news, you know social media can get on this name. So I look for 34, 35 break there on Mullen. Not today, but at one point for a little bit of a getaway breakout there for Mullen, 34 cents right there. It looks like as we get approaching, I won't be in this, I don't think, because we're getting very close. 5 more cents down, we're going to get out on this name. But for right now, Meta does look like it's failing me here. Breaking back below and almost out right now, breaking back below 117.
Yeah, so I'm now out of, I just took out AMC. It wasn't moving, got out flat. It's still at like 97, 98, so you could have given it more room. But now, at least more convincingly, PayPal's broken the bottom. So I'm getting into PayPal to the bottom side. Someone just asked, like, what time frames do you like on a chart? Don't mind. Like, the only position I have on is just getting back into PayPal to the short side of the trade. So I always trade off of, so the charts I'm looking at, when you see me look to the upside, I like a 3-minute chart, but I always look for the higher time frames of the daily and the 15. And when you're going for bigger trends, which is why I like to pick up trends on the daily chart and then key levels on the 15-minute, I do like to pull up every now and then, have like the weekly up there. And when I'm looking at, say like a crypto, I do prefer like a 4-hour chart sometimes on crypto, but it's the 3, the 15, the daily are my staples that I go into every single day. Those are the stock. If I look at a stock and I'm going to trade it, then I've looked at those three. Sometimes I might do something else, but those are a minimum for me. I used to trade off of a 1-minute. And then I kind of found that I just preferred looking at a 3-minute for some executions and for scalping as opposed to that 1-minute chart. Brendan, what do you got, bud?
When we were looking at yesterday, just popping back up here, PDSB just broke out to day highs on decent volume as well. This was earnings, I believe, if I'm correct, yesterday. Ended up holding that 725, but another 2 days in a row here. Big days for PDSB.
All right, let's get ready to rock and roll here on the imbalances. Thanks, Brendan, for that. So we're going to get ready to go here. Just a couple more minutes until these imbalances come out. It's 3:47 right now. We did get stopped out of our meta. We talked about that. So I don't have anything on board right now. We have a small position with new. Other than that, we're going to wait for these imbalances to come through. We did hear that it was 280 million or so to buy. So we're going to wait to see on that one where we go from here. So that's what we're looking at. Let's wait to see where it comes out. Did you say that DWAC broke? Is that what you said, or you said something else?
DWAC did make a big move to the downside there.
Does somebody know something?
Somebody is... Yeah.
Is there something? I'll get rid of this imbalance. We'll call it up in 2 minutes. But there's the move down for DWAC. Look, man. I mean, yesterday was $30. Today you're 25. Whether or not he runs or not, this could be a very, very interesting name. I do think that if the announcement does come out that he is running, then yeah. You know, you're going to get a move to the upside like crazy, but there it is, nice little downside move right now for DWAC. I don't know, I can call up some options. Here we can check an option chain. I mean, I just think that if you're going to play on this name right now, this might be the day to do it. Obviously, option prices are going to be elevated, but why not say to yourself, hey, what if he comes out and says no? Then I feel like moving back to 16, 17 is a likely outcome, just because that's kind of where we were before all that kind of stuff started about the election and about the midterms, and then, you know, wondering about the red wave coming through. That doesn't appear to have happened. Again, not talking politics, just trying to talk about trade setups and trade ideas. So if he does falter tonight and come out and say, you know what, I'm going to back away from this, I could see a 17 print. So that's that, and I don't think that would surprise many people if that did happen. So just watch out for that. I don't have an option chain up, but I'd be interested to see like what a $20 put would be, something like that for expiration on Friday. So that would be something to look at for sure.
So we just got to the downside here. So PayPal, second time, a little bit cleaner when it took out the low at 89.90. So it is now down at that 89.50. I've already taken a couple of scalp trades out of this one, but I got to shout out in the chat because we're looking for things to move.
Yep.
And somebody else put in, hey, have a look at PayPal at 90 even. And at the time, this is what I was looking at. Okay, so there's your bottom at 2 o'clock when we came on air, consolidating bottom. I like that breakdown. The market's trying to decide where it wants to go. This is showing you weakness. So there's something getting to a new level. You could have had maybe the same thing on, I mean, DWAC broke some lows as well. But yeah, so thank you guys for pointing this one out. PayPal now heading to the downside. At least it's moving. I'm going to slap a trail on it because we just had the imbalances come out. I don't have them up. Do you have them?
Yep, I do. Right now, sell, it looks like. Sell Uber, sell a bunch of things. So yeah, it looks like it is going to be a sell side here for the market. The market is heading to the downside. Was there any name in specifically? CCL's a buy. GPS there, buy. Uber, sell. So yeah, I don't really see too much there. We'll wait sort of for Brendan to see what that number was. 1.3 billion to buy from Brendo. So yeah, maybe something there.
How is it? Okay,
I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of out of everything just on that new bank, so I don't know if that's moving or not.
I just got out of, yeah, whatever. I just got out of PayPal. It actually went down to 89.25 anyways. I probably would have held it to like 89 even. Now, so that breakdown does work out, but I'm out of the trade. I'm going to walk away from it. That Uber gets pretty interesting. I got to have eyes on this one. It's so hilarious that you guys had that conversation about Uber and we're looking for stocks to trade as this wants to load up for me. As we were talking about stocks to trade, and Uber, just all kinds of strength, holding the highs of the day. We got to be watching this for tomorrow because look at the breakout this is on in the daily since it got to 31, and look at the room to 35, and then you contrast that with Lyft, which I know was, at least I know this one's on the NASDAQ. Lyft up a paltry 0.6%, beneath the 50-period moving average, actually rejecting a breakout today and testing a $13 breakdown. So if the market is weak tomorrow, I'll be looking at Lyft. If the market is looking like it wants to be strong tomorrow, I'll be looking at Uber. That's the way I like to break things down. I want to have an idea in both directions. Bit of a divergence happening with these two companies. Now, obviously, they're not the same thing. I mean, one more international, some other things that they do, of course. Uber, Lyft, very focused on the domestic markets. And then labor concerns, I mean, a little bit for both of them, but the chart's very different today, has to be acknowledged. I don't want to take this breakdown because it's too late in the day. It's very similar to what just happened in PayPal. If this was 3:30, I'd probably be shorting the 13 break, but it's 3:52, 8 minutes to go in the day.
Yeah, good look there on all of that. So meanwhile, we just got out of our very last position right now. There it is. It ends the day with my best out. There, wish we had held them all, but you can't predict that, man. I was really surprised at this move up. We almost got stopped out on the break, to be honest with you, but we didn't. So good on us for holding out for it. But nice little move to the downside right here, coming on new holdings. I keep saying new bank, but again, they are that sort of SoFi of Latin America, Berkshire backed name there. Good report today, but there is the fill on the out right there. So that was a good one there. Please tell me some good sites for what? We can definitely do that.
Oh, yeah, for
sure. If you're looking for any sort of news on anything, you can let us know.
There's this really cool, so hold me, just check me out for a second. There's this really, really good site that you can find for live day trading. And I mean, it's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
You go there every single, if the US markets are open, you're going to see live actual trades.
Yeah, there's some
people
site,
putting
I
them on. The name, I cannot, it's at the tip of my tongue. I can't really, Trader TV Live. That's one. But if you, I know. What do you want me to do? I'm going to say our site first. But there's great resources out there. We always talk about this. Another thing I do if I'm ever calling up a symbol that I have not looked at and it's some small cap, I don't really know the fundamentals, the first thing I want to see is it one of those crazy low floaters or is it a short float? So I always jump to this first because you get multiple resources here. Short float, it's always an estimate, so you'll get different numbers out there. Even the float sometimes is questionable. So that's one. FinViz is another. If you don't know anything about the fundamentals of a company, and you're quickly like, okay, well, what's the PE? What's the actual, what's the price to sales? Like little things like that. Do they pay a dividend? It's all right there. Just pull up any symbol. It's a good, quick resource. When you're day trading, sometimes, especially after earnings, when it resets or a couple of days after, you want to refresh your memory. Hey, is it too expensive? Maybe you have a CPI number coming out and you want to make sure a stock's ridiculously expensive if you want to short it. It's a good place to go to. Great website there, FinViz. And we're not affiliated with those or anything like that. It's just, we'll let you guys know what we're trading, but hey, what do we also use? I'll let you know what my kid's going to watch on the weekend. But it's more about just sharing information. I know that's, for some people, yeah, you know all about FinViz. You probably know about investing.com and their economic calendar. But if you're new to the game, you want these resources out there for you. My economic calendar oftentimes is just Brendan, though. So
Yeah.
you get lazy when you got Brendo.
You guys are the best. Even Sean, which would be me, misspelled. That's okay. And his DWAC
Scene?
habit. I don't know what that means exactly. I'm not even really. I'm not in this
I
stock.
actually said DWAC more than you today.
I'm not even in this stock. I mean, I just wrote it down here today for something to look at, right? I mean, I just feel like when you are trading names here, you want to look at names that have some news associated with them. Okay, so look, it looks like the right play would have been to go short on Meta, not long. So we flipped the coin and lose on that one, as Meta just did touch the 200 period again to the downside. But again, that's why we get out. We don't have to worry about it when it touches 60s. But Meta, a little bit of a. It's fine, doesn't really matter, but a little bit of a hit there. So not finishing at our highest spot today, but a pretty successful day overall. All right, we're always looking for names to trade, right? And that has a lot of it has to stem from earnings. So let's go over to Brendan and have a quick look at our earnings board.
Worth a note as well, guys. Big day on the retail side of things anyways tomorrow, but we also get retail sales data at 8:30 in the pre-market. So some of these could be affected by that. Here's what's to come after market tonight and tomorrow morning.
So we already know that we got a couple of big ones today, and then tomorrow we get Target and Lowe's. I always prefer if things are aftermarket, but usually those two are early enough that you're kind of out of the...
Oh yeah, like Walmart today.
Yeah, Walmart was absolutely fine. It's just, it's the ones where the conference call sometimes will bleed into the actual open. Not a huge fan of that. I just kind of feel like why not get it out of the way. So it is going to be all about Lowe's and Target, TJX maybe. And then I'm really interested, probably maybe the most exciting one for day traders. I was about to say the most important retailer later this week.
What was that black one in the middle there?
Macy's I want to look for. That's going to be an interesting one because Macy's had some good levels. What was that? What was that one? Brendo?
I forget the name of it. You have
Allbirds? Allbirds.
No,
Birds?
No,
I
it's
actually
from
own those shoes.
it's from Europe.
Isn't
hold on, I'll find
Allbirds
it.
is European, isn't it?
These guys can't hear what Brandon's saying, I don't think, can they? Because they can. Okay, good. I was like, I don't want to have dead air there because I'm just listening to Brandon. He's going to find. It doesn't matter what it was. That logo, I couldn't tell what it was. But
So it's not Allbirds.
I guess it's not Allbirds. No, I think that's a Bird logo. That would make a little bit
$3
sense.
that season.
Bird is $3. Didn't that IPO at 22 or something? There
daily
is
chart's
your
not.
daily chart's not loading up for Bird.
I
There
own
it
the
is.
shoes, but
it
they're
is.
actually really, they're stupid comfortable, man. And I didn't even know that's what I own. Like my wife got them. It was a gift. And they're absolutely fantastic. So I actually didn't realize the brand because I never even bothered to look at it, but they're just so incredibly comfortable. But the stock has not done very well. I mean, but what has, really? So there we go. Now it's just taking a while to load back in. I thought it was up at 20.
I thought it was 22 or something.
This doesn't go further back than... Okay, no, it is. It's taking some time to load here. Yeah, you're right. It was, there we go. I knew it was higher than this. So it got 20 down into $2.
So I was right
I'm
with
only
20?
I'm only looking
Wow.
at this because it's only 2 minutes to go here, and I'm not going to get into any new positions. And I was curious to see where it's at. I wouldn't have guessed $3. I actually would have thought this was closer to like 4 or 5 because the market had rallied a little bit here and some beaten up names had gotten off the bids. And so when you see something that has barely moved off the bottom, not necessarily a good sign because a lot of beaten up names have done a heck of a lot better than this. off these lows. Another one to watch here is I know you guys are, you know what? I was about to say DWAC's make a move up, but I'll point out that Tesla is coming back up to the upside. I'm going to like this 196 level tomorrow. I'm kind of hoping we can trade off of this in tomorrow's trade because that's been a good level. But you can see it's been giving you a bit of a wedge forming, like tightening up and less moves throughout the session. PayPal bounced off the lows, so it was probably the right idea to get out, bouncing off that bottom. Good breakdown trade. ON. So that's what you were showing there, ON. Definitely not Allbirds.
I still have zero idea what that company is, so we won't be doing that one.
So go long it tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Not much hitting the news wires right now. We can check out the imbalance locator one more time for you to see what's on there. We had GPS coming through. Of course, that's Gap. I remember when they got rid of their CEO, that name was down to $9 or $10. They've gotten rid of Kanye, so on and so forth since then. So that's always an interesting name to look at. Uber with a nice little sell. You can see that kind of action here to the downside on that sell. Despite what the market's doing, you can see the market's going to the upside a little bit down there. Uber going to the downside. There's AT&T. Yeah, we didn't break. Oh, we did break a little bit, 19 there, up to 1905. Interesting name there. Oh, I just saw, I was going to say your name, but we haven't looked at that in a while.
Affirm.
If I say one of your stocks, what do you, I know it's
Lemonade.
not your stock. Lemonade, yeah, but there's one more. Anyways,
Virgin Galactic.
There it is, yeah. So I
know all my pandemic plays, man.
Yeah, exactly. That was on there as a...
Pins, Lemonade,
Root.
Space.
Root.
I didn't actually own Root.
No, I know, but that was
I
the
owned
name we talked
Lemonade. I
about.
didn't own Root, but
yeah.
they both suck.
Space was on there.
Shoot.
I don't know what's going on. Oh, shoot. We have 10 seconds. It's Pradley Beal on the bell today, so we're all going to see Prad in full.
Hey, you got a good form on that. Get it on.
There he's got the good form. Let's see the form. While you're off camera, move over. Now try it again. Still
Two
off
and
camera.
one. Ring it.
Ring the bell. Ring the bell. There he goes. By the way, each one of those I think were air balls, but good job there, Prad.
I hit 4 3-pointer yesterday on warm-up. That's my record.
4 out of how many shots?
No, 4 in a row.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, you missed that. He said I hit 4 in a row 3-pointers in warm-ups.
That's my best I've ever
That's
done in
nice.
life.
That's
warm-ups
good. That's
and
good.
warm-ups.
That's
That's
good.
all right, though.
Practice? Oh, it was a 6-foot hoop. That makes more sense. Okay, Brendan there. How did we wind up? A nice little move there off the at the close here, creating a little bit of an upside move. What's up?
We hold on to decent gains here, guys, for the overall market, considering what was happening there. It's not a bad board to have a look at. 0.88 for the S&P. All three, Russell 1, 2, 3,000s positive on the day. It was the NASDAQ all day long leading. Look at that. They end exactly the same. The composite in the 100, 1.45. Guys, good day.
There it is.
That's right. I'm honestly the happiest man there is right now.
Good job.
Because anyways, it's like
He
it's a paid
sent
forward,
you
man.
that. He sent Prad the F1.
He got the F1. Sharif got a kick.
He got the
Cowboys,
Sharif
Cowboys jersey.
So I'm nervous to see if I get anything. Do not send anything, Playmaker. You've done enough.
Oh, you know.
You've done enough.
You have, though, and we definitely want to pay for it. I'd love to come back down. I spent some time, actually lived in Miami for a little bit in the summers when I was in university. Great town, love it. Although my sights are set on what you said, Sean. I want that Vegas meetup. You know I want to go. Everyone knows I want to go to Vegas because I've never been.
Yeah, I'm trying.
And the best way to do it, like I don't want to just go to Vegas to go to Vegas. I want to go to Vegas either it's like with friends, bachelor party, that kind of a thing, or with you guys for a bit of a meetup. That would be a heck of a lot of fun. Did we even look at how the market ended up?
Yeah, Brendan already went over all that. Yeah,
okay, and we came back.
We
okay,
talk
that's
about it, but the market's
continuing
continuing to make a move to the upside. Okay, good luck to everybody that holds anything to do with my obsessed stock, DWAC, apparently. So that should be a lot of fun there.
Stop talking about DWAC.
Yeah, stop talking about it. Stop talking about it. We'll wait for that. Thanks to Lucas today. Good day. Thanks to Prad and Sharif, great midday show. Thanks to Playmaker again for all your gifts, man. Means a lot to us. Again, of course, thank you for all the support to everybody. Thanks to Bears vs. Bulls. Thanks to Brendan. It was a little bit of a busy afternoon there with all that coming out, but we'll still keep our ears to the ground. Any closing comments there, fine sir?
I mean, it's going to be obviously a wild day once again tomorrow. Again, guys, retail sales, we get this announcement from former President Trump at 8 o'clock, so DWAC will be worth a look, I suspect, Sean.
Agreed. All right. Check the trade of the day after this. It's on AMD. We went long, then we went short, and then we basically did nothing in the afternoon. So good day. We're back tomorrow. Rain or snow
Or sleet.
or sleet. We're back tomorrow. I think it will be sleet because I was
Probably.
looking at the temperature here. Oh, it's not for hot on the board, so I don't want to delay this too long here. It still says 2 degrees.
left
I don't
already.
know. I'm going to update this to see.
It's gonna be, it'll be slick. It's gonna be
So
slick.
we still have
It's-
2 degrees.
Yeah,
Hard to
and-
see that right now. So the snow will be melting. So that
Yay.
should be fun. All right, for everybody here at Trader TV Live, that's Brendan, that's Neil, I'm Sean. Check you guys tomorrow. Sleep well.
Bye, guys.